Yo, what the fuck is up, everybody? What the fuck is up? It's been a long time. We've had about a week. Holy shit, have I been busy. Kuzads with the 10. What's up, bro? Right in time. I didn't even shower. I'm dirty as fuck just right out the gym. Don't give a fuck. Energy's high. We got a lot to catch up on. Holy shit. We got a lot to talk about. I was just in Texas. For the 4th of July. That was a great event. Shout out to the Texas comrades. They put together an incredible event. And it was overall a great experience. But as you can see, guys, whenever I travel, the streaming shit, it just... Steven, what's up? Whenever I travel, it discombobulates everything. I got so much shit to catch up on. I got so much to do. But it was worth it. It was worth it. But here we are, you know. I'm just going to tell you, I must be cursed or something. I must have bad luck or something. Because Sunday, I was supposed to arrive at 6 p.m. in Detroit Airport at 6 p.m. Do you understand that at Detroit Airport at 6 p.m., I intentionally got that shit for Detroit Airport at 6 p.m. Osos, what's up? And then what ended up fucking happening is my flight got delayed by 3 hours. And somehow I landed in Detroit at 10 p.m. because that bullshit got delayed. Why? What the fuck is going on, right? And then I got home, and then I got an Uber home. The Uber took like 35 minutes to wait time for the Uber because it was packed in Detroit for Sunday. So I planned on streaming Sunday, and it just didn't fucking happen. And then I'm like, all right, I'll just stream Monday tomorrow. Well, it turns out I had a lot of shit to catch up on, and I couldn't fucking do that either. So here the fuck I am, and here we are, and this is us. We're back. Everything's great. So we have a lot to talk about, guys. We have to talk about explosive revelations, explosive things going on in the discourse, and some of the latest drama that we have going on, right? Involving Dan Cohen. What the fuck can I say? People are asking what's going on with Dan Cohen. So the other night, I was at the gym trying to finish my workout very quickly so that I could just get home and fucking stream, right? Yesterday. And I was like right about to do my set and start my workout. Dan Cohen hits me up. He hits us all up, and he's just like, yo, Jackson, I can't believe Jackson said this. So if you don't have the context for Jackson and what he did or what he said, Dan Cohen was responding to this video that's gone viral. It's led to Randy Fine calling for Jackson to be arrested somehow, but the thing is, Jackson is abroad. I don't know how you're going to arrest him. Anyway, this was it, and I know this has caused quite a discourse. American Revanchist, what's up?
USA.
فقط به زبان خودش بگه. من سوال کردم حالا که میگه USA که don't be USA درسته؟ به زبان خودش بگید کیف کنه دست همه بالا موبایل همه روشن پیغام میدان انقلاب به دولت آمریکا وگرنه آمریکایی هم پیدا میشه که اینطوری آزاده باشه دست همه بالا ببینیم خودش چجوری میگه شما جوابشو بدید.
Down with USA. Down with USA. Down with USA.
Based as fuck. We had a lot of reactions to those. We're going to respond to those reactions, of course. But it pissed off Dan Cohen. So Dan Cohen messaged us. He's like, oh, this is Jackson's a Fed. How dare he say this? How dare he insult the great USA? How dare Jackson do this chant? You know, he's a Fed. I just didn't have... But Dan's been, like, losing... He lost his marbles for months. I just didn't have patience. I don't care about being diplomatic or nothing. He's been fucking loose. He's been turning and attacking everybody. And I think maybe the feds fucking got in his head and drove him crazy. But he's fallen off the deep end. But then I have to ask, it's that same old, what's the thing in common, right? I hate to be I hate to be the noticer here. I hate to point out the common... You thought I was going to say Jew, didn't you? I'm talking about the generational thing. Him, Caleb Maupin, even Danny Shaw, Diddy Shaw, what do they all have in common? they have this narcissism that's because of their generation. They weren't socialized online. They don't know how to fucking handle disagreements. They don't know how to distinguish reality from something fake. They still are coping desperately on this idea that they have a grip on reality. See, the difference between Gen Z and the older generations, as someone who's on the cusp, I'm on the border between the two, so I see things for what's really going on, right? As someone who's on the border between these two generations, the main difference is that the older generations, I'm not even talking about boomers. If you pass, like if you're over 50, you're in the clear, right? But the danger is millennials to Gen X, there's a danger zone. The danger zone is that these people, a lot of them, feel like they still have a grip on reality. They have that grip on reality, right? They can tell what's fake versus what's real. And their notion of real is immediatism. Oh, I know what real reality is, a firm handshake. I got a grip on, it's a firm handshake. I got a grip on the firm handshake. They have this idea, they have a grip on reality. They know the real world. They know when all is said and done, after all the spectacle and theatrics, they're in the know about what's real and what's not, right? Gen Z is, and below, they're tung sahur maxing, and they could care less about this metaphysics. They don't have this distinction between reality and the fake world, right? But they're people like Dan Cohen, Caleb Maupin, Danny Shaw, what they all have in common is they're just coping. They just have this idea, they have a grip on real life and the real world. Your real world is dead. Your real world was itself a simulation. That itself was fake. The military-industrial complex started engineering culture in the 50s. They started systematizing the process of mass socialization in the 50s, okay? So unless you're born before that time, you don't know what the fucking real world is. And by the way, this is a metaphysical notion. This notion of real authenticity being based in the immediate relationships, empirical relationships. I'm sorry, this is just British metaphysics from the 17th century. Sorry that America destroyed your British metaphysics. Sorry, by the way, that America outmoded Britain's empiricist metaphysics, but it did. We talk about it in a dystopian way. The rise of systems theory, the rise of the systematization of culture, the rise of the systematization of the process of socialization. We talk about it like it's a horrifying and terrible thing, but actually, it was historically progressive. Isn't that fucking crazy I'm saying that? The rise of cybernetic systems of control was actually historically progressive because it was an advance from the bedrock of Anglo-Saxon institutional control. From Anglo-Saxon, imperial control, then it went to this German neo-Kantian gibber, and then the rise of this American cybernetics total system of control thing actually completely destroyed the metaphysical individual of bourgeois modernity. The collective nature of existence was finally drawn out. The memeological reality, the reality of principles that unify the tendencies among a given population, the non-immediate nature of existence, real social existence, finally became evident. And this is a step in the direction of communism, actually, right? The people in the older generation, the parapolitics people, all these people, they have a dystopian 1984 understanding of this. Oh, we can go back to the time we were sitting on the grass hugging each other. No. America has given rise to the neo-Islamic era. It's a neo-Islam. It's a neo-Islam where individuals don't exist, where empirical immediacy doesn't exist. All that exists is the signifier, the principle. The principle is the everything. The individual completely flattened, deterritorialized. Now, individuals still exist. We still have experiences, whatever. But that's no longer the site of metaphysical sovereignty anymore. Now we're all part of the Muslim horde. Thanks to the U.S. military-industrial complex, we have all become a part of the Islamic information horde. And now, ideation does not happen at the individual level. It happens at the collective level. This socialization is a destruction of Anglo-Saxon metaphysics and the resurrection of Tartarian ontology, right? So you understand, I'm glad America broke out of Anglo box. And in a way, systems theory furthered the control by the Anglo box. But then in another breath, you could say it was an emancipation This is dialectics. Yes, it was a furtherance of control that simultaneously corresponded to an acceleration and accentuation of the contradictions between the hegemony of the bourgeois modernity, and the rise of mass politics, mass culture, mass civilization. Social media is the conclusion of that. But anyway, these people that are just about one generation after mine, they're coping. They're still clinging. They're clinging to forms of socialization and experience of reality that has been outmoded. They think they still have a firm grip on reality, and they're losing their fucking mind anytime reality contradicts them in any kind of way. They assume it's the meticulous work of feds. I have something to tell you. Even the feds aren't in control anymore. The system is in control now. The feds don't even have control over it. Isn't that beautiful? It means there's no mastermind behind the system. The system itself has become the thing that's taken a life of its own. But in any case, people like Dan Cohen, Danny Shaw, Caleb Maupin, it's this common thread of insanity that I notice, which they're fucking coping. They're just clinging in vain to this narcissism. They're clinging in vain to this false immediacy, this false authenticity, this false individuality. You got to wrap it up. They're confusing social principles with their own psychopathologies, with their own like coping narcissistic mechanisms of validation and feedback and all this shit. And it's creating a type of schizophrenia where they're losing their fucking mind. They're losing their fucking minds. So I have to because some of you were surprised that he lost his mind and crashed out. I wasn't. Anyone from that generation, I have to tell you something. I'm not saying people from that generation are intrinsically bad. I'm just saying when you're noticing a viral, prolific, famous person who comes from that generation, who's famous on social media, you're flipping a coin. They're either going to fucking go crazy and become schizo, or they're going to be chill. But a lot of them fucking lose their minds and go crazy. You just have to understand that's their generation. Shaitan, what a terrible name, but what's up? So, they have that it's like a disposition that they have to just fucking go crazy and crash out. And I have to just say, I wasn't surprised by it at all. I've been noticing he's been losing his marbles. And I'm like, dude, I literally told him, I'm like, dude, go fucking make up with Danny Shaw. You two are a match made in heaven. You're part of the same retarded coping generation with Caleb Maupin. Like, just stop talking to me. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to deal with your psychological coping and retardation. I have no patience for it at all. And, they keep talking down to me like I'm a retarded child. That's literally what they keep saying. Oh, you're a child. You're just a streamer. You're just a kid. Buddy, it pains me to see that I'm a decade younger than you, and I'm actually an old man compared to you. It's gotten to a point where, like, the people that I can talk to are their parents. Like, I can only talk to old people now, like boomers, like the actual old boomers. Those people don't have vanity. They don't have this like coping shit. It's like, I feel like it's me and like 60-year-olds, and we're just sitting here and we're looking at these retards and we're just sighing and we're just looking at each other like, yeah. Like I've gotten to the point where I've become numb. I'm like an old wizened person. I'm numb. I'm literally like an old man. And I have these people 10 years older than me that are crashing out like retards who have no grip on reality anymore. And they're telling me I'm a stupid, retarded child. It's like, buddy, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Like, I just don't have patience for it. Figure your shit out. It's not my problem. It's honestly like these older millennial types. I don't know. Like, I'm always dealing with it. It's just like a pattern I've noticed. JB, what's up? I'm going to be honest, guys. You know what I told Dan? I literally told Dan, I said, Dan, go make peace with your Judaism because you're like a Jewish zealot right now. I told him you're acting like a Jewish zealot from the Roman times. I said, you have this, because I was looking, before I thought about the Caleb Maupin thing, I was like, this must be a Jewish thing or something. I don't know what this is. You're like, you're like so stubborn and you're so fanatical about, my way or the highway. You either fucking agree with me or you're nothing and you're a piece of shit. And I'm like, dude, just go to the synagogue and make peace with your religion. You know, you're repressing it and it's leading to insanity. You're not adapting well to the modern world, right? But I know I kind of think about it more, and it's like, well, actually, it's a generational thing when you think about it, right? It is a generation. It's not really a Jewish thing. It's a generational thing. I'm always looking for patterns, to be honest. You know? But no, it's very sad. It's very sad, and if you're surprised by it, I just got to tell you, you flip a coin when you're dealing with that. Millennials and the early Gen Xers, whatever, you're dealing with something where these people are disposed to lose their shit, lose their marbles. They can't just chill the fuck out. They have that fucking problem. You know, they're unable to take the chill pill. Calm the fuck down. Calm the fuck down. If everyone calmed down a little bit, you want to make my life easier? Calm down a little bit. If everyone would calm down just a little bit, everything would be fine for me. But alas, people lose their mind. People go crash out. They go crazy. What can I say? What about Gen X Russians? Can't speak for them. I can only speak for the people in America. And Europe, probably. Western Europe and America. I can't tell you how many journalists who are 40 years old talk down at me. Just shut the fuck up, you pretentious bitch. I don't want to fucking deal with you. You know, they're not properly socialized. They don't have a grip on reality. Why is it that I can talk to a 70-year-old and we can have a cigar and get along and understand everything, but you're still like a retard? Like you have the mentality of a fucking 15-year-old. Believe it or not, I'm actually the old head. I'm the mature one. I'm the wizened one. All right? Look at my fucking dead-ass eyes. Look at how much in my eyes I tolerate. Look at my eyes right now. You know when people look at they go, he has dead eyes. No, I have tired eyes, you stupid-ass bitch. I have wizened old eyes. I'm old as hell. I'm wizened as hell. And people who are confused by the memes, I don't have patience for them. Ay. But I want to talk about it. Why is Jackson saying death to USA, death to USA, death to USA? Sneeko there's all these themes that are converging. All these different themes converging. Sneeko's in New York saying Islam will be in every household. Now Jackson's in Iran saying death to USA. Here I am giving this, on this Marxism equals Islam thing, which triggered a lot of people. Holy shit, you have some you're not even atheists. You're not even atheists. You have some unresolved religious trauma where you genuinely are triggered by Islam. Holy fuck. Honestly, a lot of Muslims want to behead me because they're like, what you're doing is blasphemy and sacrilege. And I'm just here chilling. I don't give a fuck. But some of these people that claim to be secular atheists, they're like, something has been activated when they see Marxism as Islam. They're like, and then it just kind of puts a smile on my face. And I'm like, damn, you're dead ass lying. You're not an atheist. There's something about Islam that provokes something inside of you. But let's talk about all of it. Let's talk about all of it, right? Let's talk about all of it. We're going to talk about all that shit, okay? Jackson saying down with USA. So Dan Cohen was upset about it. I'm sure others are upset about it. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Because the USA is dead. Have you guys forgotten that the nation... Why are we assuming that the American nation is the USA anymore? The USA, the United States, is a specific type of state enumerating in the Constitution. Where does that exist anymore? I don't see it. It's fucking gone. And I could bend over backwards and try to atone for the fact that I'm a brown Muslim foreigner. and that I should be wearing the stars and stripes. And, please, sir, please accept me as one of your own. I don't give a fuck, bitch. You want to kill me, then kill me, bitch. I was fucking born here. I was raised here. I don't know any other fucking country. I've been to a handful of other fucking countries. This is the only fucking one that I know. I don't have to prove my Americanness to a fucking anybody. Literally, suck my dick. That's my message. All the people that say, Haas, you don't belong here. You're a brown. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my fucking dick, you bitch. I don't gotta prove a fucking thing to you. This is how I talk. Where do you think I learned that, you fucking retard? I learned that from this fucking land. I don't know any fucking some fucking Europe, Middle East, where they all fucking play ball and play soccer with their feet. You think that's where I fucking come from, you fucking retard? I was born on Eminem and all this stupid bullshit. You were too. Fucking grew up playing Halo 3. Same shit you were doing. Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2. Xbox 360. Take me to fucking task about Call of Duty World at War, Nazi zombies. Take me to fucking task about all that stupid, retarded ass Goyim bullshit you grew up on. I grew up on the same fucking thing, you fucking retard. Well, I got a different name and I look a little. Suck my dick, bitch. I'm gonna fucking cry and apologize and try to make myself seem more American than I fucking am. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about distancing myself from this retarded LARP patriotism and fear. Oh, but Haas, the optics are bad. You look foreign. Suck my dick, bitch. I paid my taxes. I grew up the same fucking way any of y'all did. There's no difference between how I grew up and you did, except that I didn't eat pork. I didn't eat pork. You got me. I didn't eat pork. Okay, who gives a fuck? There's so many fucking people that came from cults that some Mormons, they weren't even allowed to wear underwear or some shit. Everybody's got some shit, right? So first things first, that's the thing I want to clear out of the way. All these people who come at me. You know, by the way, it's the same shit with Sneeko. Sneeko was born and raised here. Sneeko was making videos on YouTube talking about Call of Duty and shit. And now he's a foreign Muslim who needs to be deported? Shut the fuck up. And you know what sickens me? A lot of these people who are saying this shit, a lot of them like Randy Fine, motherfucker, you are entangled with foreign interests. You are a Zionist. You're literally loyal to fucking Israel. Or people like Patrick Beck David, literal fucking foreigners who come here, who don't even have an American accent, by the way. I love you, Trump. I love it. Bro, these are the people in command of the fucking discourse. These people who come, they don't even speak in an American accent. They're right-wingers, and they're talking about deporting this or that. You fucking, you're a first-gen fucking Persian talking about deporting me, you bitch. Kick your ass back to Iran and let them tear you up, bitch. Talking shit to me. Talking about how patriotic and American you are. That's why I'm saying the United States is dead. It's a fucking LARP. Why are we lying about this shit? It's LARP. The United States is dead. Formally, we're still acknowledging it, kind of. Maybe we have 4 years max before that changes. Where there's a fucking reconstitution or a constitutional crisis. United States is dead. Now, I always have to talk. People always, they take my words because you're a retarded child. Dialectics can only be taught if we have a stick in every household. We just keep beating people till they understand it. It's like, that doesn't mean I hate the United States. It means it's an outmoded state superstructure. It's an outmoded state. Just like the Tsarist Russia was an outmoded state, the provisional government was an outmoded state, the Republic of China was an outmoded state. It's just objectively true. It's just outmoded. Now, whatever comes after in the long run is going to have to inherit some of the continuity, for sure, like every state. I don't have the reason why I was pushing. Remember how the whole American patriotism debate started? You want to know how it all started? Holy shit. Remember how all this shit started? You want to know how it started? Can you fucking take a lucky guess? Because a lot of people, first of all, you have standard orthodox socialist patriotism. I'm far from an orthodox, to be honest. I'm pretty heterodox, actually. I don't LARP. I'm not a Hojaist or something who LARPs as like, oh, the exact pure. Like, that's fucking impossible. Just think of how fucking stupid and obscure that is. A random small country like Albania, who I respect a lot, but you live in America and your lineage is coming from an Albanian small, like, extremely strict ruler who, after he died, the whole thing ended. And that to you is the absolute truth of the reality. I admire it. It's funny. It's endearing, but seriously, it's kind of fucking retarded, actually, right? So the hill that I was dying on with the patriotism thing was this specific work of art by Fan Wenan. That's you guys need to understand something. I was never a Stars and Stripes patriotic LARPer. I found artistic beauty in this drawing made by a Chinese man. This is a Chinese guy who made it. And why I thought it was beautiful was because I like how it renders the United States superfluous. It's post-US America. We will make peace with it. There's no more resentment, no more rage and anger and bitterness and resentment. Just have the funeral, let the United States pass. And because we don't have this bitterness, we can have a succession. We can just seamlessly inherit America for what it actually objectively is, whatever that is. And we don't have to overthink it. We're not going to turn the United States into an idol that we worship. It's an objective historical reality. There's no need to be neurotic about it. You know, it's like communism. The red flag is our principle. The red flag is our flag. The flag of USA is a historical flag. Okay, one that we respect on some level, but it's a historical flag. This was beautiful to me because this was like an idea that, like, this is America after communism. It has this. We have the red flag take control, and then it just kind of seamlessly and passively becomes assimilated into the objective reality of America. And it's a very serene idea. It's a very, like, it's Islam, it's peaceful, it's whole. It's like it just happens. Like, communism comes to this country like a natural disaster. It's extremely revolutionary. It's extremely whatever. And then, you know, after the bitterness comes the sweet. Things just come back. Things come back to life. Things go back to normal. And certain things from the United States acquire continuity, not because we are ideologically attached to the United States, but because it's a reflection of the objective reality of history. Some of the things about the United States are not there because of the ideals of American USAism, but because it works, or because it makes sense, or because it's deeply ingrained in our historical memory and unconscious, and it makes sense to Americans. This is after the storm. This is post-revolutionary. This is post-USA communism. And I thought it was beautiful. That was my form of it's even more heterodox than socialist patriotism. Socialist patriotism is more strictly patriotic than my post-US American patriotism. This is what I endorsed. Now, you know, the thing with Caleb Maupin is that we came together because I was a principled person. I was like, look, these ultra-left types, they don't know history. Socialist patriotism is standard for the CPUSA, for all these parties. And then second of all, it's like I could tell that the very bitterness that they had about America was because it's like an unresolved Oedipal repression. They're like, you are still ideologically a U.S. slave to the U.S., It's like, you know how someone, when they're fighting with their dad, but that's still your dad. And it's like, you still see the U.S. as your sacred. Even these ultra-leftist anarchist types, they're still fundamentally wedded to the U.S. In a way, they're more patriotic than I am, actually. This is an extremely, like, very sacrilegious image made by Fan Wenan. First of all, it has the tragedy of marine civilization. This is literally this is more of a destruction and negation of the U.S. than the anarchist destroy everything, because this is the negation of the negation. This is sublation. Sublation literally shifts what we comprehend as the essence of things. The essence is no longer this stars and stripes LARP. The essence is clearly here communism, right? But it's so powerful that it can assimilate past forms. That's a true way to overthrow something, is not to destroy it and abolish it. It's to shift the center of gravity, the essence, the principle, such that all of these other things, all these other historical forms can be assimilated by it. So this is America being assimilated by communism. This is not a synthesis of, this is not patriotic socialism. This is the assimilation of all U.S. history under the living, serene movement and cause of communism and Communist Party dictatorship. And that was the aesthetic vibe I wanted. That was the thing that I was for. That was the thing that I was like, that's fucking cool as fuck, right? All these like ultra leftists who still have a hang up about the US. You have a hang up about something, you're still in bed with it. You know, who fights the most, couples or divorced people? Couples fight more, right? You're still in bed with the US. You haven't made your peace with the truth is, there's something more radically anti-US about me. Always has been. I have already treated the US as dead. I have made my peace with it. It doesn't bother me. It's dead. It's like already dead. So why keep kicking the corpse? What's good, just take and move on, right? And they are coping about that. Okay, so anyway, I had a very principled but very specific and meticulous basis for the patriotic thing. But then we found ourselves in the same discursive position as these people like Caleb Maupin, Peter Coffin, and these people who are to this day like huge, they're hate stalkers. What could you call them? They're obsessed with us. And for that time, we were just saying, okay, we will close ranks and whatever will be. But then, you know, Peter Coffin, he's wearing that America Stars and Stripes thing. And then Caleb is doing this patriotic LARP. And I'm just like, you know, guys, I was never like on board with that. Like, I had a more like postmodern thing going on, honestly. It's like my thing was, I was never like on board with that retarded LARP. And by the way, historically, if you want to talk about American patriotism, you're not even supposed to display the U.S. flag in this way. It's supposed to be a solemn thing. You put it in a corner somewhere, or if you have it, there's a protocol. You were never supposed to wear it on your pants or wear on a shirt or something. It actually historically was considered very disrespectful, actually. But in any case, you know, people will say, well, Haz, it's just because you're a Muslim immigrant. Maybe I'm a foreigner, but the problem is I'm a foreigner who has no land. I am the true like Jew from history, right? The one who has no land, who's a wandering nomad. Okay, if I'm a foreigner to this land, I have no land. I have nothing. I have no land except this one. But if you insist, oh, you don't belong here, whatever, it's like, well, then I don't belong anywhere. That's the truth, you know? I have nothing in Middle East is not me. They're Europeanized. They like soccer. They like all these skinny jeans. All this stuff I have nothing to do with. I don't speak that language or anything. I only know America. But the conclusions of America has led me here. Okay? I am a son of America. That's the thing you don't want to fucking admit. I'm a son of America. This is the land that brought me up. Every wacky, crazy, insane conclusion I've ever fucking drawn in my life was because of my experiences here. And no other land, no other country. Just here. And I don't care to defend myself. I don't care to defend myself. I don't care to pretend to fit in more than I am. Yes, there's going to be these people who say, "Oh, you're just not patriotic because you're not racially one of the traditional." Don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't have the patience for it. I don't. I see the writing on the wall. The U.S. is dead. It's absolutely dead. And if you're more outraged by this symbolism of Jackson saying "Down with USA," you see, do you think I ever felt offended by the ultra-leftist people who are like, "Oh, the U.S. is a just settler colony, fuck the U.S. and the founding fuckers"? You think this ever offended me? I just saw it as childish. I just said, you're clearly hung up on something that's already dead. Why do you care? You're dead. It's already dead. So how do we move forward? That was always my question. How do you move forward in this land? How do we properly bury the U.S.? Because it's already dead, and the bury ceremony, the burial is going to determine the future. There's many things we have to draw from the revolutionary tradition of this country, but this is not an idol. I don't regard it as an idol. I don't regard the U.S. as sacred. It's absolutely not. If you want to know my opinion, which I've said many times, the USA was it's not even the beta, it's the alpha. The idea or the principle of a state in this land, of the people of this land, that was America. It's like not even 1.0, it's like 0.01 alpha test. The project of building a state on this land is very early, in my opinion. It's a very early project. 250 years is not a long time, actually, believe it or not. And I think of the future. I'm not attached to the past. I'm attached to a future. And only when you think in terms of the future can you salvage what matters from the past. I don't care about LARPing America's history or reenacting it. There's a lot new that's going to be on this land, and I have to just say, guys, the proof is in the pudding. You want to talk about patriotism and all this stuff, proof is in the pudding. You can be like Patrick Bet David and have a U.S. flag next to you and go, I love this country, liberty, and the Look, you're not seeing things on the astral level. You want to know who was a patriot? David Lynch. Besides his retarded shit about Tibet, David Lynch was a patriot because he was seeing an infrared vision. He was seeing things on a level that this is astral warfare, okay? All this fake patriotism, like Patrick Bet David and all these tethers, this superficial patriot. Yeah, America, fuck it. This is like some... There's astral forces fighting over influence for this land. And the stupid one are people who fall for that one. That's just some fake front. For Zionists, for others, the mob, you fucking name it. It's like all these special groups and influence forces. They create a synthetic version of national existence. They create a synthetic version of common collective belonging. If you are truly an American, you go from Emerson, you go from Henry David Thoreau, you go to David Lynch. The real American is when you go into the woods and you stare into the woods and you see Mothman or some shit. That's real America. Real America is you go into the woods and it's eerie and it's weird and you feel uneasy. There's something uneasy about it because there's this untapped sacred dimension that we have not really properly established a relationship with, right? And we're in a state of unease with our surroundings. And it produces and induces this existential angst and anxiety of some kind, right? And it's like, this is the authenticity that's at the core of being an American. I avow myself as more American than all these fucking retards who are trying to say, oh, you're just a Muslim, you're an Arab. Absolutely, I'm a Muslim. I'm all this Islam stuff. The call's coming from inside the house. All this insanity that comes from Haz al-Din, okay? It's an American insanity, okay? The project of Islam equals Marxism, or Marxism equals Islam, I should rather say. I just want you to understand where that comes from. That comes from here. My inspiration for that is here. Do you think this guy is my brother? Do you think this guy is my brother? Let me ask you a question. Do you think Ibn Abd Allah al-Hashimi is my brother? You think this is what I mean by Islam? You think this is what I mean by Muslim? You think this is what I mean by the Islam that I'm talking about? I'm racist against this guy. I'm prejudiced. I guess I've internalized the racism. I don't want this here. I don't want to see this person. Fuck off and go fucking eat your lizards in the fucking desert, you fucking bitch. You are a fucking monkey. Get out of my life and my face. You are a kafir. Kufar. For Jackson, I would catch bullets. For this bitch, I'm in an ummah with him. This is my Muslim brother. By the way, this is why I won't go to Hajj. This is why I won't go to Saudi Arabia. Lucas, what's up? You want to know why I'm not going to go to pilgrimage to Mecca and Medina? Because I'll walk around and I'll see these absolute swine like this fuck. He could be to my left. He could be to my right. I go to Saudi Arabia. To my left or to my right could be a UAE official. To my left or to my right could be an ISIS monkey. To my left or to my right could be one of these free Syrians. Hell no, I'm not part of no brotherhood with y'all. Hell no, I'm not in a brotherhood with you. Fuck you. I'd rather do pilgrimage in Colorado. I'd rather do, I go look to my left, look to my right. My brothers are in the American Communist Party and in the infrared movement worldwide, the worldwide infrared movement. That's Islam for me. That's real Islam. Real Islam. Real Islam is here. And if it's not here, I want nothing to do with it. These posturing, estrogenic, effeminate little bitches. They're so estrogenic. They're so effeminate. These Muslim LARPers that call Jackson a Fed. They all getting their nails done. And they don't realize he's an intelligent Assad. You got man titties. You are estrogenic. You are effeminate. You're not a man. You're disgusting. You're a fat ass. You're a swine. You're a scum. Lazy fuck. Open your fucking mouth. I'll slap you in your face if you say this in front of me. I'll slap you in your face you say this shit in front of me. I hope your bitch ass gets deported if you live here. Fucking bitch. Absolute scum. Scum of scum. These Muslim LARPers who hate Jackson have a problem with Jackson. Fuck you, bitch. I got nothing to do with you monkey ass bitches with your fucking beard and no mustache. You want to posture and talk shit to me? I don't have to be part of Saudi Arabia's Islam. And it's not just the Wahhabis. Saudi Arabia, deadass, created a whole standardized version of Islamo LARP where you got a lot of pedos running around. You got a lot of these people running around who are on the low, not all that natural. What can I say? This whole incel chud thing going on, it's extremely not, it's a little zesty. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a little zesty. I've got nothing to fucking do with it, all right? You know, if you honestly, I'll be biased on some Shia Shiism. You look at Hezbollah, it's like all dudes, they've got virtue, they're warriors, they've got honor, and they don't hate women. They don't hate women. They don't have any issue. You go to Lebanon, I mean, women, a lot of them are religious, some of them aren't, and it's chill. They don't have this thing where they got the beard with no mustache and they're just like on some chud shit. That's like some nasty Saudi Arabian shit. And I've got nothing to fucking do with it. Like, I've got nothing to do with that. I have no patience for posturing. I have no patience for bullshitting. Know them by their fruit. Show me what you're doing for Palestine. Nothing. It's Hezbollah and it's Iran, and that's a mystical revolutionary lineage that comes from the Kizilbash. I'm going to drop some. If I go to the Middle East, they'll behead me. Maybe. I'm doing what they're going to say. I'm an apostate. I'm doing heresy. I'm like the modern day Rousseau. Rousseau in Europe, basically in Europe, he was like, y'all Catholics and Protestants and Calvinists, y'all are just LARPing. He's like, why don't we just be real Christians? Why do we have this conflict between Catholics and Calvinists? And it's all fake LARP. Why don't we just have some real ass Christianity? And they all tried to kill him. They all tried to kill Rousseau. They all tried killing him because he was on that shit, right? But then you look at other people from a similar time period, like Voltaire. Voltaire was a Reddit atheist who was like, God is a myth. That is a silly illusion. All the kings and queens of Europe, they hosted him at their court, Catholic and Protestant alike. And they're like, tell me more, Rousseau. They preferred atheism outright over the type of shit Rousseau was saying. Because what Rousseau was saying was that all these religious people are fake LARPers and that there's a real Christianity that they're all unable to actually understand, right? And it's the same thing today. Saudi Arabia and the UAE, they're tolerating these atheist secular types. Chris, what's up? But a guy like me, the UAE funded people that claim to represent Islam, they would accuse me of apostasy, try to kill me, take my head off. Right? It's the same shit. Same shit. But in any case, I don't give a fuck. All right? I don't give a fuck. I'm just trying to say this whole thing about Islam going on. Everyone's going, why do Americans have a fixation and fascination with Islam? Because it's touching some heartstrings. Because it's touching some critical... It's like a hit dog holler type of shit. Americans want Islam. They want this unifying, comprehensive principle of existence that they just don't have. If Americans didn't give a fuck about Islam, I wouldn't even talk about it. But why is Sneeko joking in NYC saying, oh, Islam's going to conquer America? Why is that triggering people so much? Well, because I guess there is something about Islam that Americans want to be entangled and involved with. It's like, who forced America to get involved in the Middle East? Don't say it was just Israel, because they were making deals with the Saudis even before then. So something about this trajectory was fate. Nobody forced it. I go to Texas. I noticed the pattern in Texas. There's a high rate of conversion to Islam in Texas for some reason. I'm not even talking about the chapter or something. I'm talking about, I looked it up. In Texas, there's a high rate of conversion into Islam. But because there's something about it that clearly resonates. I don't know. There's something going on there. And I'm going to keep pressing it, but the thing I need to continue to clarify is that what I'm saying is a declaration of war against both the typical anti-Muslim types, but also the established gatekeepers of Islam. That's what I'm putting. I'm literally risking my head doing this shit, but I don't give a fuck, because where was they for Palestine? Nowhere, right? And I'm not afraid of labels. If what I believe in is not Islam, then I guess I'm not a Muslim. Okay? Then I guess I'm not a Muslim. What can I say? The belief comes first. Too much in my head. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, ACP Chan. I don't know what the fuck you're not enough in my feet. You know what kind of pisses me off about that? I've been traveling for the entire weekend. For some of these days, not in sleeping. I haven't been in my head at all for the past 3-4 days, okay? I'm trying to get back in my head. I keep getting jerked out of my head and dealing with bullshit, honestly. And ACP Chan, you've been around for 8 months, all right, bro? And you're saying I'm not grounded enough. Grounded, just what does that mean though? What does that even mean? Think about it. Think about what you're saying. What does that even mean? What does it mean to be grounded? Versus what? Floating? Oh, ACP Chan is Saudi. Oh, really? Well, bro, I'm sorry. I'm taking it too far for a reason, you know? I'm taking this shit far for a reason. I'm taking it far for a reason. All right? I mean, I'm more toward a Eurasian Islam. I'm more toward that, you know, the step. I want to say that my ancestors, they came from maybe they came from Central Asia, maybe they came from the Caucasus, maybe they came from northwestern Iran or something. I can't be claiming maybe only Yemen I'll tolerate. Like I'll be like, all right, Yemen, I'm cool with Yemen. I'm cool with what I just mentioned. As for the rest, y'all good luck on your own. I got nothing to do with that. In terms of my lineage, that's all I'm saying. Okay? And Algeria, I mean, sure, whatever. Look, I here's what I got to say, guys. I got to say that I'm the most open-minded, enlightened person in the world. It kind of feels like that. It feels like I'm the most open-minded, enlightened man in the world because I'm just so above the pettiness, and I just see these people have such a smallness in their visceral reaction to my memes about Islam. They have this visceral reaction. I'm like, dude, you're still living, and are you like traumatized by the Crusades or some shit? Like what about this like actually genuinely gets to you? Like why does it upset you? There's so many Indian Marxists who were viscerally reactive to that post, by the way, both on Instagram and on X, the secular Indian atheist socialists. And I'm like, you guys, have you not made your peace? I thought we're in Kojev's end of history where everything is set and resolved. I guess not. But it's funny, you know, it's genuine hatred. People have genuine hatred. Genuine hatred. Psychological. I want to understand it better. This issue with Islam, this fear. And then also this this LARP about the USA being sacred. The US, the United States. I mean, states, why are you scared? States come and go. There will always, in the grand scheme of things, we might have a few decades of balkanization, that's okay. Grand scheme of things, there will always be a great power, a great principle that holds sway over this land, sea to shining sea that we call America. It is destined. It is destined to be a great nation. You're not a patriot, I'm a true patriot in a way. Because if I think about the collapse of the US, I will say, in the long run, a new state will take its place. Probably even better. No anxiety, no worry. Because if you're a patriot, the power of this nation comes from the people and the beautiful land. The people and the beautiful land. And as long as you have that, and if you have history, okay, America will be fine. The U.S. will go, okay, America will be fine. It's okay. It's like there's chaos under heaven. It's okay. Everyone needs to calm down. This is all part of a big plan. The USA probably will balkanize, for sure, actually. It will be not nice, maybe even within our lifetime, but after we're gone, everything will be fine. At least, if it takes that. Epistate, what's up? People have this anxiety. They're coping. It's like they're Dan Cohen. They're like Danny Shaw. They're like Caleb Maupin. They're just trying to have a grip on something that you can't. So Sharia is the way of water. Islam is the way of water. Let it come. Let it go. It'll come back. Don't worry. Everything will be fine. Yeah, exactly. That's what Benjamin Franklin told the French when they had the French Revolution. It'll be fine. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's all good. You see, you know how I'm a Muslim? I'm a Muslim because every identity to me, every fixed, rigid identity, every fixed, rigid thing, it's water to me. It will give way. It will give way. It's not, you don't have to have an attachment. It's almost like I'm a Buddhist. I'm like a Buddhist. Actually, they say that Buddha might have been a prophet of Islam, according to Islam. That he might have been one of the 72,000 or whatever prophets that God sent to mankind. So I'm like a Buddhist. I'm like a Muslim. It's okay. Just don't worry. It will all be water. It will give way. And reality will be what it is and what it has to be. And don't have an angst. Don't have an attachment. Don't have such an attachment. You know? You don't need to have an attachment. If something is worthy of existence, it will be worthy of existence. And it will be on you to just give way. But this thing, you have to have an attachment. You have to control it. You have to control it. You can't control anything. It's vain. You can't control, do I need to do a silent stream? Ultimately, you can't control anything. That's the truth. Systems theory, cybernetics, which is about control, proved it. Cybernetics proved you create a system. Literal, the whole system, the point is steering, control, right? The science of control. Well, the perfection of the science of control, you know what it leads? You know where it leads and what it leads to? Giving way. The system controls itself. A principle becomes self-reinforcing. And there's no longer a person in command whose will is being affected. Instead, a systemic principle defines the architecture and the space of human organization and coexistence. Give way. Give way to things as they are, as they must necessarily be. And remove the vanity in your head. Remove the attachment in your head in vain to things. Things that deserve to exist will continue to exist. Give way to them. That's my genuine message, on this matter. And if there are some Americans who associate this with Islam and are scared of it, maybe that's why, I don't know. I just have to say, what are you holding on to so desperately? What are you holding on to? So you're gripping it so hard. What are you holding on to? Tell me. Tell me what you're holding on to so desperately. What do you have to lose? It's one thing if you, all these Muslim immigrants. What? But there's 1% Muslims in America? How much are they? 1-2% maybe? Muslim Americans are a non-factor. Although, for some reason, they're so influential. With Zoran Mamdani or whatever, they're not very prominent in this country. Americans are very fascinated with Muslim immigration into Europe. Why? Why? It was Europe's fault, actually. America and Europe's fault, both. Because the whole immigration into Europe by the Muslims was orchestrated to destroy wages. It's basic economics. Europe, you know, we have Mexico and we have South America. Well, they have the Muslim world to their south. Okay, why is that my fault? Tell me. Why is it my fault? Why should we be upset? This movie about this guy who finds a Muslim family and just kills them. What's that movie called? That so many Americans are fascinated by. They're cheering it on. By the way, I have a white hair. That's how wise I am. You see, this is a white hair. I have a white hair because I'm wise. You understand? Citizen Vigilante. And what disturbed me about this movie is that it's like you have a retarded autistic guy who's probably on Reddit, who's just like a retarded autistic guy. And that was my biggest observation of that movie. The guy, he looks like an autist. And I can imagine it's going to create so many autists who are like, I need... Okay, you want to know the truth? The guy, he reminded me of John Mullera. Okay, sorry, I didn't want to say that out loud. But that's kind of the thought I had. It was like a really, you know, a person who somehow wants to fantasize this scenario that they're just losing their shit irrationally. I mean, I understand in the movie there's a reason they were upset, for sure, but the fantasy, like the wanting to be, if you're in America, you have nothing to do with this, but you want to identify with this protagonist and be outraged like he was. It's like, what is this psychology I'm dealing with here? You know? What is this I'm dealing with? I mean, I don't know. It's LARPing. That's what I mean. It's like, it's LARP. It's nihilistic. It's people who play video games, Mountain Dew. They play video games, they watch anime, they drink Mountain Dew, they drink Doritos. And what they'll do is they'll say, my life is so empty and it's so boring and it's so useless that the only way I can find fulfillment and restore meaning to my life is I imagine myself in a scenario in which I will have to use lethal violence and potentially put my own life at risk. And so many Americans do this. They LARP with their gay little toy guns and go, America, fuck yeah! This is what freedom's all about. I'll show you. This is what made me turn against U.S. patriotism. You want to know the video that made me turn against U.S. patriotism? Where I said, okay, you know what? Time down with USA, just like Jackson said. You want to know what made me realize that this thing, it's time to just let go of it? This is the gayest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I haven't, you know, you can say, oh, it's because you're a Muslim brown foreigner. Okay, you got me. Okay, alhamdulillah, you got me. I don't want nothing to do with this. Like, pack it up, it's over. The U.S. is dead. This is the cringiest fucking LARP I've ever seen in my life. It's actually so cringy that it makes me never want to have anything to do with the U.S. flag for the rest of my life. It's so profoundly cringy and embarrassing. It's like, it's your little toy guns. It's just like, do you know how fucking retarded you look? You're shooting at nothing. You're wasting ammo shooting at nothing. You all these little fucking toy guns, they're toys. They're literally toys. There's no scenario in which you would ever use that for anything meaningful. It's literally the most vain, cringe thing. Like, nobody gives a fuck. It's like, it's actually boggling. It's like, I realized how cucked the U.S. population is. They're actually cucked. They're allowed to have all these guns and shit because the U.S. government has a very strong understanding of something, which I'm going to share with you right now. All those guns don't mean a fucking thing without collectivism. But Americans are not collectivistic because they're, they're mentally cucked and enslaved and molested. And so these three guys, if they wanted to form an organization to coordinate training of guns and all this stuff, that guy would get mad at, let me show you. This guy would start feuding with this guy because he fucked his wife. This guy fucked this guy's wife. This guy stole $20 from him. He owes him $10. This guy got upset at him because when they were at Taco Bell, something went wrong. And the whole thing would implode. In 2 weeks, it would implode. That's Americans for you, okay? As we are, for now, that's the state of America. So all these guns don't matter. You just have a nation of potential lone shooters. Okay, government can take out a lone shooter without any issue. The only trouble comes from coordination, and that's why the FBI doesn't freak out about guns. They freak out about groups. Because when you start organizing, you have the ability to coordinate. You have the ability to have logistics. You have the ability to act in unison. Bro, IAVV, you are triggering me how fucking annoying you are. I never want to see a paragraph about religion. Go be an atheist. I'm an atheist. Leave me alone. I don't give a fuck about your paragraphs. You know, when the burning bush spoke to Moses, what did God say? I am what I am. It's that fucking simple. Every time I see a paragraph about religion, I'm an atheist. Don't ever give me a fucking wall of text about religion for the rest of my life. I keep getting tagged in the Discord. I keep getting bombarded with these fucking walls of text and paragraphs about philosophical gibberish. I don't care about religious philosophy at all. I am a Marxist. I'm a materialist. I'm a dialectical materialist. May Allah have patience with me. Stalin, Mao, it's history. No, it's gibber. It's gibber. This is the strongest argument against Christianity. Why? Because a Muslim can just go, okay, Allah, Allah. That's it. But why can't you just be a Christian and say, Jesus got the wheel and just chill with it? Why do you have to always have this gibberish? This gibberish. All these walls of text. So complicated for nothing. Just as Allah intends. Allah knows best. Just keep it like that. Simple. Or maybe say Jesus has the wheel and then simple. Right? But why do we have to gibber and make it so complicated for nothing? That's why I like baptism. My favorite form of Christianity, maybe it's baptism, the Baptist church. Because they'll go on a church and they'll sing, and it's so simple, and everybody, it's where we praise the Lord, Jesus is here. You know, we're just under a tent. It's a small little tent. Everyone will go and they say, you know, you have a cowboy on the frontier and he'll just go, Lord, forgive me. Like, just something simple. Something simple and good, right? Just something plain, something simple. That's my stupidest take. Okay, I mean, then call me stupid. Call me a stupid monkey then. A religion should be simple. It should be simple. If it's not simple, then you are not materially justified in your existence. Like, for example, the state should fund Lysenkoist scientists, for sure. The state should fund dialectical wizards, perhaps. They can levitate and they can have telekinesis. If I believe in maybe funding this esotericism, but should someone be sitting around all day babbling about religious identities, which I don't care about a religious identity at all. The dimension of identity in matters of religion is absolutely immaterial, meaningless to me. I don't care. An oversight in my worldview. But if you can't make it simple, it means nothing. You need to understand that. If you can't sum it up in one sentence. Okay, sum up my oversight in one sentence. Just do that for me. Sum it up in one sentence. What's my oversight? Just tell me in one sentence. And make it a short sentence. Simplify it. Christ is dialectical materialism and Islam subtracted Christ. No, Islam didn't subtract Christ. The church subtracted Christ. Islam is the thing that says Christ is going to come back in the future. That's why he's the Messiah. He's going to come back. Okay, well, Karl Marx is the one who heralds that. End of story. You see how simple that was? It's not that Islam subtracted anything. Islam was dealing with a world that was without Christ and says he will come back. Okay, well, that's the Communist Party. That's the Communist Manifesto in 1848 and the Communist Movement. Bing, bang, boom. Simple. So simple. You see how simple that was? You're speaking from a Western framework. Hell yeah, I am! Because I live in the West! The Wild West! Yes, I'm speaking from a Western framework. I'm so Western that I'm Eastern. I'm so Eastern that I'm Western. My problem with Europe isn't that they're Western, it's that they're like in the middle. They're in the middle. I only like extreme East or extreme West. The middle is soccer and FIFA and all this stupid shit. Just get a grip, live for something. You know how many Europeans, their whole life is dedicated to stalking the ACP because they don't have fine meaning in their life. They work for 4 hours a day. Then they go home on their sandals. They're about 130 pounds soaking wet. God forbid they go to the gym. And they they're metaphysically gibbering about us. Debate with Logo about Islam. Why? For what? For what? The gyms are illegal in Europe. You might be right, they are. You might be right. Orthodox, okay. You can be Orthodox and not be a gibberer, though. That's the truth. The Orthodox communists and I go to Russia, I talk to Orthodox people, you know, they are Orthodox in reality. They don't need to gibber about anything. They, you know, some people just don't get stuff. That's why just go watch David Lynch and come back to me. I'm gonna, you know, Sheikh David Lynch. I'm so for Sheikh David Lynch when he says that, like, language, it's a way to rape people, right? Language is like a way of raping reality. That language is like this prison. You just rape with words. You can't just let things be. You can't just understand things as they are. You have to just impose all these identities and labels and gibberish. Just let things be. And if you have something to offer and something to do, just fucking do it. Simple as that. Because I'm going to show you something, actually. There's some guy just made a video about me, and I just... It's the ugliest person I've ever seen in my life, if I'm being honest. And this is actually something that would drive me to atheism again, if I'm being honest. Something that would drive me to atheism again because of how disgusting and So give me 1 second while this loads because it's a piece of shit. Okay. Maybe it's not here. Nope, it's not there. Let me find it. It should be somewhere here. No, maybe it's there. No. No, not here. Where the fuck is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, responding to Hazaldin
Into stupidity.
by Abu Ibrahim. This is what I have to deal with.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
It's like I use the label. It's like, you know what's funny? I use the label Marxism. I get swarmed with all these furries who are mad that I took the real estate. And I use the label Islam. And then it attracts these people like flies. When did I say I want anything to do with you? When did I say I want anything to do with this ISIS? When did I say I want something to do with this ISIS stuff? Because it's like we have to reflect on this. For years we've been calling ourselves Marxists, communists, and for some reason there's all these furries who are it attracts them like flies, and we have to deal with them. I don't want this. You can't just turn your camera on and start yapping nonsense, okay? It's like you can't just have no charisma and just yap nonsense. You know, some people think you can just say things and I'm going to respect it. I'm not. It's not how it works. Show me what's behind all this, okay? If this was the supreme leader of Iran, there's something behind it because that guy fought a war against the most powerful empire on earth. What is this? There we go with the performative, the performativity. Online Muslims are so performative. They love being performative. So here's that forced performativity.
Welcome back. I am tortured by Muslims who...
This is an average Muslim Islam expert, okay? They learned everything they got from some hand-me-down thing that originates in Aramco oil revenue madrasas, some extremely orthodox LARP version of Islam that is somehow not separated from Arabistic culture from Saudi Arabia. All of this emphasis on having like a twang in your voice where you resent having to speak the English language in the first place. You're like, I don't just speak English. Why do you have to do this posturing performativity, right? I like Malcolm X. Malcolm X, he's just like a straight talking American. He was with, you ask Malcolm X, why are you a Muslim? Malcolm X was like, because you got one God, you got one world, you got one struggle, you got one cause. I believe in one humanity, one God, one history. And Malcolm X, if you see how the way he talked, he's so straight talking, he's so simple, he's so direct. And then what is this? When did I say I want to be brothers with this? I don't. That's why I'm not going to go to Mecca, because I could go to my left or right. I could see people like this. You're not my brother. That being said, the experience in Iraq, the Arba'in, which was created by the Safavids, the Arba'in, that was such a beautiful experience, if I'm being honest. All sorts of Shiites from around the world. Twelvers, you had the Alevis from Turkey, you had Alawites, you had all the different types of Shia. And it's like, I kind of fuck with that a lot more, to be honest. I don't know what this is. I just don't know what this is.
Look for politics outside of Islam.
I love Iraq. I love the experience in Iraq of the Arba'in when you go to Karbala. And the people are so warm. They're so authentic. They're so genuine. There's giving out free food. Everyone's so kind. If you need help, people help you. Everyone's just so authentic. But then I see these ISIS types with their finger waving and shit. Where's your soul? Where's your anything? It's like, I know for a fact this dude goons to anime. I'm just gonna say it. How many of these radical Islamic communities are people on Discord that constantly get outed for degen-ass shit?
And perhaps I am tortured as such because I, once upon a time in my...
I once upon a time. What is this? Am I racist?
youth of my youth, I was one of these people. And now it seems...
And now you went on Discord and you got radicalized by some ISIS nonsense.
exclusivist, if that's a word, meaning you're not allowed to find answers to these realities outside of Quran and
What's
Sunnah.
this nasally voice? You're not allowed. Bro, didn't even let me write my writing. That's why I'm not even going to engage with this video. Once I write my essay, then maybe we could make your fucking gay little react video. What the fuck is this? This is the guy responding to a based image of Hegel and Marx, Sheikh Marx. Islam permits private property. No, it fucking doesn't. You don't even know what the definition of private property is, retard. Islam says in the Quran what you have with your right hand. That's not private property. Private property is a jurisprudential category that has its origins in Greco-Roman law. That's the lineage where private property comes from. It's an absolute, inviolable principle. That's not true in Islam. There are absolutely terms and conditions in which people will not have the ability to control what they have with their right hand. For example, there's not a single Islamic civilization, really, in history you find, before the 1700s, let's say, where they had a tradition where the land can be privately owned and alienated willy-nilly. No, that's not true, actually. So this is just a bunch of fucking nonsense, okay? Islam forbids centrally planned economics. Okay, well, every single Islamic empire to some extent was centrally planned. Every single one. They had public works, public infrastructure. They had a system of patronage that came from the center. And, I mean, what are you talking about? This is fucking nonsense. They didn't have central... They had central planning in Ottoman Turkey and Safavid Iran. What was that if not central planning? Designing complex waterworks and irrigation systems in Al-Andalus? That's not central planning? What the fuck are you talking about? Limited wealth distribution, social security net for basic needs, but does not ban billionaires. There was no such thing back then. So what are you talking about? Doesn't believe that class... This is so stupid. It's like Islam doesn't directly mention Isaac Newton. It doesn't directly mention quantum physics. Doesn't directly mention computation. It doesn't directly mention these sciences which only found later development with the cultivation of man as a consequence of the acceleration in the productive forces. Yeah, Islam doesn't need to propose a comprehensive scientific understanding of history, just like it doesn't have to propose a comprehensive scientific understanding of plants and animals. You have to actually inquire into the world to understand those things.
Right? That percent wealth tax across the board to the earth. The toolkit are at the Prophet's ideologies. Like,
there's just something so estrogenic about this. I just don't. It's just like I honestly I don't feel like I'm one of these people. If I have to say it, I just don't. It's just like I don't fuck with this at all. There's just like a zestiness. It's like a... It's like, I don't need to go to the gym because it's like, there's no like pain and suffering. Actually, I kind of prefer Christianity to this. For sure I do. I prefer evangelical Christianity to whoever the fuck this guy peddles. I'm not gonna lie. Because Christians believe in pain and suffering. In a sense, they believe you have to go through pain, you have to struggle, you have to have some kind of adversity you need to overcome. You need to actually work and work. Like, they have such a better work ethic. These guys, they sit on their sofa with their legs crossed all day with a belly. Without even drinking beer, they have a beer belly. Like, I don't want to deal with it, you know? I don't want to deal with this. Evangelical Christians are the most Zionist. You don't think this guy's a Zionist? This UAE nonsense, Wahhabi, Salafi shit? ISIS didn't attack Israel one time. All these desert, I don't know what you call them. All these Arabistic Islamic, besides Yemen, who are Shia, a very heterodox version of Shiism, they all are friends with Israel. They're all friends with Israel. They all didn't do anything for Palestine, all right? I don't need to take this seriously. I don't need to take it seriously. I don't. It's so hideous to me. It's so I went to Turkey. I saw the Ottoman history. What a beautiful civilization the Ottomans had. They had such a splendid. I saw the astronomy. I saw the arts, the scientists. I visited museums. They were so eloquent. The Ottomans. They were so eloquent. They had such a profound. Yeah, they were Orthodox Sunnis, but they were so profound and eloquent. And then I look at this nonsense shit that comes from Saudi Arabia and the UAE, and it's just so hideous. When did they say you have to have this nasty, scraggly beard that, without a mustache? I mean, where is it? This is my problem. Whatever this form of Saudi Islam is, it mandates ugliness. It's like, if you really want to be a believer, you have to be ugly. Wallahi, you have to be ugly to show. Bro, doesn't God love beautiful things? Doesn't God love to be well-groomed? And why did he create this world if he just wants us to be hideous, ugly monsters and abominations? If he wants us to be ugly people with ugly souls and ugly spirits, why would he want that? Why would God make humanity and make the world if he wanted it to be full of ugly, retarded-ass people? And they hate women. They do hate women. It's the truth. I mean it when I say these people hate women. They do hate. You got to look at their communities. They have all these scandals and shit. They hate. You even have these Muslim women that adapt and they'll go, yes, I'll do all the whatever. And it's still not enough because they hate women. They have this resentment. They hate women. Why do you hate women? God made women. Why do you hate them? It's like, okay, they are what they are, but it's like, listen, why are you so resentful about it? What's the issue? What's the problem, So, I have a few more things to show you, and then we're going to do the TikTok stuff for sure. But this is my heretical. You see how I have all these opinions? Because I'm not a panderer. Nobody can say I'm a fucking panderer. I'm the realest motherfucker in the game. Nobody can say I'm a panderer. I will attack this stupid patriotic LARPing. And I will defend Marxism equals Islam. I will talk about how I'm a Muslim, I like Islam. But then I'll also be a heretic and piss off all the Muslim LARPers. So that's because I'm a real motherfucker who don't give a fuck. That's why. I don't have to pander to nobody because I'm my own motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, who do I have to pander to? Nobody. Because I live life as a lion. I don't give a fuck, bitch! I walk with my nuts hanging. I don't give a shit! I don't gotta pander to nobody. I say what's on my mind. I say what I believe in. I don't give a fuck who it pisses off. Suck my nuts. Hell yeah, Gorilla Limbaugh. What's up, bro? With that 25. What's up, bro? That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't have to care. May I be stricken down if I ever have to give a fuck what any bitch-ass people think. I'm the one. I'm starting my own shit. I'm starting my own shit. I'm starting my own trend. I'm starting my own tendency. I'm starting my own shit. I don't got to pander to nobody. I don't got to appease nobody. I don't got to pay tribute to nothing. They got to pay tribute to me. Because I see bullshit, I'm not going to agree with bullshit. Okay? I'm not going to accept any bullshit because it's popular. I'm not going to You say, Haz, who does this appeal to? Does this appeal to regular Americans? Not appealing to nobody, bro. Art, what about me? But what about me? I'm also an American. I'm also an American, though. I mean, you may not think I am. That's okay. But you say, oh, but Haz, how does this appeal to regular Americans? Bro, who am I? Haz, you're not good at this. You're not appealing to leftists. You're not appealing to Muslims. You're not appealing to... What do you mean? I'm supposed to appeal to people? I'm supposed to appeal to people? I'm going to tell you what's on my mind. And if you fuck with it, join my fucking army. And if you got a fucking problem, take your ass back home and fucking cry about it. That's my message to everybody. Oh, that's not how you get... No, you live life as a bitch-ass person. You're used to appeasing people. I don't give a fuck about that. They're like, that's not how... No, that's not how you do it if you're a bitch-ass person like you are. I'm not that. I don't give a fuck. I'm an actual Afro-Asiatic man. I don't gotta appeal to nobody. I'm 100% a real Afro-Asiatic one. I don't give a fuck about anything. It's like I'm not a salesman. I'm not Patrick Bet David. I'm not selling you nothing. I'm telling you the straight ass truth. I'm not Patrick Bet David. I'm not appealing to nobody. You fuck with the program, you get with the program, or you don't. Or you debate me about it if you have a fucking problem. Ain't nobody said you can't debate me. Well, you're not gonna appeal? Who's appealing to what? I wasn't put on this earth to appeal to anybody or pander to nothing. I was here to give you something new. And let me tell you something. Okay, be honest. Be honest. If you're white and you're American, okay, at least 5% do you fuck with the Islam LARP? The good one, like the Islam thing that I'm doing. Like, you gotta at least fuck with it 5%, okay? Because ultimately, if my Kizl Bosh don't fuck with it, you know, y'all are my Kizl Bosh, okay? Y'all the Kizl Bosh. It's like, it's y'all, right? And of course you guys fuck with it to some extent. You have to, unless you're crazy. You're telling me, I know who my community is. Y'all, a lot of y'all were directionless. A lot of y'all, you were in the desert. You were orphans. Y'all don't want to be part of this Dune Islamic, neo-Islamic movement. Fuck you got to lose. This shit, it goes hard as fuck. This is cool as fuck. Why would you not want to be part of this shit? Amila with the 10. What's up? It doesn't matter. You could be Jewish, Christian. It's like you have to fuck with it on some level, because it's like if you have nothing to lose, then we're out here in the fucking desert. We're just gonna roll with this shit. It doesn't matter. We got nothing else. Let's just take this shit, right? Let's just roll with it. Let's just go forward, not giving a fuck when okay, it's weird, it's strange, but you can't say it don't go hard as fuck. That's the thing. You cannot say it don't go hard as fuck. Like Rocky Mountain Jihad. What the fuck? That's actually cool as fuck, all right? Rocky Mountain Jihad. Jews are cursed to atone for their sins. Let them. Amila, it's like, thank you for the 10, but I mean, it's like, this is also something I'm trying to say. It's like, at some level, okay, the anti-Semitism, it's kind of funny. Wasabi, what's up? On some level, it's funny, but also, this is what I mean when I'm saying, we need to be easygoing a little bit, have a little bit of sense of humor, okay? What do you mean? All of them are cursed? Really? All of them? Forever? Come on, it's unreasonable, okay? I got into Dan Cohen was coming at me last night, and I pulled out the Jew card again. I was like, Dan, you sound like a zealot from Roman times. Go make peace with the religion. You know, you sound crazy right now. I immediately jumped on it, him being Jewish. But you can't seriously say, you know, whoa, the Jews must be cursed. It's like, that's not my way. I hate to tell you. I want to tell you my Islamic movement. My Islamic movement says, I literally don't give a fuck where you came from. Don't give a... I have 3 rules in my movement. Actually, I have 4 probably. I'm going to tell you my rules. This is the infrared movement rules. I don't give a fuck what your origins are. First things first. You can never be guilty and ashamed of who the fuck you are. Whatever the fuck you are, what your father is, what his father is, what their fathers are, your lineage, you be proud of where you fucking came from. We are humanity. All humanity has a story. We all came from somewhere. Struggle, adversity, hardship. Everybody has to own you never fucking walk with your head down because of where the fuck you came from. I don't care where you are, what you are, your religion, your ethnicity, it doesn't fucking matter. You have human dignity. Life is struggle, it's jihad, it's adversity. Your parents could sin, your grandparents could be sinful, you could come from a whole lineage of sinful people for 2,000 years, but guess what? Your human story begins now. And instead of being ashamed, you take pride of being part of this fucking struggle. Do you not know what the gorillas and suns mean? The gorilla means the primal force of humanity. So that's rule 1. Rule 2. Don't care where you come from. I don't care. This army, this Islam is for everybody. This is for everybody. I don't even give a fuck. We take in everybody. If you're the proof is in the pudding. You fight for the army. Let's say all the Jews were the worst people ever. Let's say there's a pattern. All the Jews in our movement were the worst. Every single one of them, there's a pattern. Okay, even then, I wouldn't close the door to Jews in the future. Why? Because at the end of the day, we all have free will, and there's no excuse. Anyone has a right to prove themselves. Which, by the way, it's not true that that's the case. But in any case, look, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, everyone has their own problems. Everyone has their own problems they're dealing with. Everybody has something that they go home and they think about. They have a problem. Everyone has their own internal struggles. Everybody has their own problems and issues of some kind. You know who I'm for? I'm especially for my generation. Not only my generation, especially my generation, right? And sometimes, by the way, some people think I hate these annoying, these transgenders, all these people. Hey, you know what? Actually, the truth is, this is our generation. Actually, it's our generation. Actually, that's our generation. And you can say, oh, I don't like how it is, but it is. And so how do we go forward? Torturing them and whatever? No, it's not going to fly. Torturing them, making them feel bad and hate themselves? No. You're not offering a solution for our generation. You're not offering a solution for... We are the new generation. This is who we are. This is what we are. No one's above anyone. And we're all here, and we have to deal with the lot that's been given to us. All of us, we're all here together. You can debate about how we got here, but ultimately it doesn't fucking matter because here we fucking are. Here we are. And we have to move forward as the new generation. We have to move forward. They say, oh, and I think about it a lot. They say, well, foreign communists don't have to deal with this nonsense. You're right. They don't have to deal with the furries and all these anime weird. Okay, you're right, but we do. We have to deal with our generation. There's nowhere you can take refuge from your own generation. Nowhere. DPR, what's up? You live in America. This is your generation. So step up and take some responsibility. Give some leadership. You know what I've always stood for? Thick skin. That's it. Thick skin. But it goes both ways, by the way. Thick skin, it's not just offending people, it's also tolerance, right? Can we say that of the infrared Kizilbash, you're like the Kizilbash at this point. You are the tribe, you're members of the, you know the Kizilbash, they became the elite tribal network. And if you were not part of the Kizilbash blood tribe, you were out, right? Later on, but when the Safavi order was taking off, it went to the Turkmen nomads. And these Turkmen nomads, their tribes who joined the Safavi order, they became the Kizilbash. Okay, you guys are like the Kizilbash, right? So now you are part of this movement, you're part of this army. Okay, you're on the straight and narrow path. But can you say before infrared you were on the straight and narrow path? Were you? Where would you be without? Like, what direction was your life before infrared? All of you were pure and you were all, what? Every single one of you? You all were devoid of any defects? The truth is, the power of this movement has never come from putting people down. The power of this movement has come from the ability to give people hope, to transform, to change, to turn people on a bad path to a good path. Okay, that means the people on a bad path, they need to be led. We are the Kizilbash, okay? We are the Kizilbash. We can close ranks and say, fuck everybody. Alas, it doesn't work that way. There's more gorillas out there. There's more like you. This doesn't cap out is what we have. There's more like you. We have to find them. We have one more thing to show. First of all, I hope you guys liked this. You did. When I told Randy Fine he's a fat ass. Okay, good job liking it. But Randy Fine said it's treason, what Jackson said. Look how many people that is.
Down with USA! USA!
It's just the way Jackson's laughing, or the way he's saying it is just...
Down with USA! USA! Down with USA! USA! Down with USA! USA!
Bro, I don't know. I'm going to tell you guys, this doesn't come from me. I want to tell you that, like, very sincerely. Some people think Jackson is like this because of me. It's really not true. For some reason, Jackson just randomly fucks with it. Like, he just randomly... he just, like, feels the vibe, and he just is down with it. I don't know. Like, I've got nothing to do with it. Down with USA. He just gets it. I don't know what it is. Like, why is Jackson, like, naturally a Shia? I don't know what that is or where it comes from. He's, like, actually a Shia for somehow. In some way he is. I mean, in his sentiment, like, unconsciously, like, on accident. You know what I think? I think maybe the real lost tribes, maybe the real Shias, what happened is that they fled to Europe because they were persecuted. And they went to Britain and they went to France and whatever, and they just blend in. And then Jackson comes from this lineage. Could be. It could be, actually. Anyway, what does What does Nick Fuentes, who's becoming a boomer, what does he think? Let's hear from Boy Wonder.
You see Jackson Dinkle in Iran saying death to America. He should be drone striked by Trump for that. This guy,
so brave for him to say that.
Grows up a privileged white kid in California. He starts LARPing as some kind of communist revolutionary. Now he's in Iran saying destroy America.
Well, he did say USA, and he didn't say America. But...
I get it if the Iranians say it, and on some level, you can't even necessarily hold it against them. We're in a war with Iran. If you're in a war with a country and they say, hey, destroy our enemy, okay, well, we tried to destroy you. We killed your leader. You were born in this country. You're a fifth-generation American. This country gave you everything you have, all the opportunities, all the memories, all the love that made you what you are. You go to some other country, a country we're at war with, and you say, destroy America. He should be drone striked by Trump. He should never make it home.
So zesty and so sassy of Nick to say that. Very brave. But what is the substance? With the substance is he's just begging. He's just begging authorities to. And it's like it's kind of giving. I'm gonna tell the teacher on you. I hope you get expelled. Like, it's just kind of giving snitch vibes. It's just, like, kind of giving, like, teacher's pet vibes. It's just kind of giving, like, I'll tell my daddy on you. It's like, okay. That is, the U.S. government is clearly a threat to Jackson. It's why he doesn't come home. But what is the addition of Nick Fuentes? Like, what does he add to the equation here? Yeah, Jackson has been, I guess, anticipating persecution, which is maybe why he's not home. Okay, the U.S. government is quite dangerous. It's quite willing to kill dissidents and so on. Okay, but what does Nick Fuentes add? What is this, like, little bitch? What is this little bitch? What does this little bitch add to the fucking equation? What is he bringing to the table here exactly? What is he adding on top of what I'm talking about? Like, imagine you're, like, fighting a giant monster, and then there's a little twerp in the corner who's like, yeah, I hope you lose. Okay, but what do you contribute to this? Like, what do you contribute to this equation in any way? You're like a little bitch in the corner on the sidelines. Okay. Do you think it hurts our feelings to hear you say this, Nick? Do you think it hurts our feelings that you say this? Should we feel bad? Should we feel hurt? Is that what it is? Is that the, like, net effect? Is that it's supposed to hurt our feelings that you want to see Jackson dead? It's funny for Nick to say this. You know why it's funny? Because there's a lot of Americans who want him dead. Isn't that funny? There's a lot of Americans who want him dead. A lot of liberals, a lot of Democrats, they want him dead. When the election happened in 24, I think he was in hiding or something. So many people wanted to come beat his ass or something. So I think you have more problems, actually, than worrying about if Mossad's going to be successful in their operation tomorrow.
That should have been the case when he went to Venezuela, should have been the case when he went to Burkina Faso. These people are now the enemy.
Enemy of what? What are you going to do, you little bitch? We already dealing with the Mossad and the CIA and the U.S. government. We already dealing with them. What you going to do? I'll channel the rabbi. The rabbi, what's his name? That Sneeko talked to. This Goyim is talking about. He's talking about he will be the enemy. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What do you add? What do you bring to the table here? We already, okay, the U.S. regime, Israel, Mossad, already they want to kill Jackson. What are you going to do when you say this? They need your approval?
Okay, this left-wing Islam, this third world alliance, they are the enemy. I'm not okay with Zionists either. Still, it's not, I didn't change my opinion on that, by the way. We can't be in league with.
You know what's funny? If the left in this country gets his shit together, this guy that you're seeing right here, nah. He knows that, by the way. He says it all the time. What's more likely? They're going to catch Jackson, or the left will gain steam in America, and what's going to happen to this guy? Exactly. What will happen if the left prevails in America to Nick Fuentes? Because I will say, we're not going to protect him. For sure, we're not going to protect him. For sure, we're not going to protect him. For sure, we're not going to advocate for him or fight for him or anything. And this guy has no friends on the left, by the way. None. Nobody on the left wants anything to do with him. Well, the direction is going left, actually. All you have are these fucking retarded boomers, and you have these retarded Gen X retard, mentally disabled types. So what do you have? The right will win again, little bro. No, the right wing is dead. It's absolutely dead. It's dead in the fucking water. You have the Randy Fine. You have the fucking boomer retards that are going to die from age. You have Gen X retards. And then what do you have? Who do you have on the right? What's the right? You have nothing. You have no motion. You have nothing. The left is on the march, and it's being mobilized. Trump will force a win. Okay, then it's civil war. I will say something. DSA, I'm going to say something. You want to know what I'm going to say? You can clip this too. In a civil war, your average DSA libtard who has social anxiety and pronouns in their bio will slaughter and decimate entire divisions of right-wing Gen X gun owners who are right-wing. Absolutely, it will be a slaughter. DSA would slaughter the right-wing in a civil war. And I can tell you why. For how weak the DSA is, weakness is a temporary problem. All you need to overcome weakness is training. If you train, you can go from weak to strong. The thing that decides the war is the moral authority. Who believes more in their cause? The DSA type or these retard Bitcoin cynical kill a commie, right? These right wingers that say kill the commies. They watch anime. They play video games. They're defeated. They're lethargic. They're nihilistic. They're Asmongold nihilists. They don't live for anything. But your typical DSAer, however libtarded they are, however libbed out and weak they are with the pronouns, they do believe in something. They do believe they have a moral authority. They absolutely believe in that. And if pressed, if you take your thumb and you press them hard enough, my prediction is all it would take is 20% of them to get their shit together if they're pressed, like with the finger, they're pressed hard, and they'll start fucking training, and they'll start fucking getting serious, and they'll actually, you're gonna push them. It's like a sleeping giant, the left. Master, what's up? And I promise you, these retarded leftist liberals, you press them hard enough, corner them hard enough, if they have a momentum of hope and they really believe it, right? And they have something to fight for, I think they actually would defeat the right in a civil war. For sure. For sure, I think they would. I think they would. Y'all pussy. Okay, well, I'm just telling you, want to talk about a civil war, the left should not be underestimated in a civil war. That's all I'm saying. Don't underestimate them, because you should never in our community underestimate how cynical the right is. Most of my community comes from the left. Some maybe come from the right somehow, but the ones who come from the right, they're few and far between. They're either Gen Z or they're super smart intellectual types. But the right wing has mainly self-defeated nihilists. They don't believe in anything at all, except pure force, right? Which doesn't make for morale at all. I think you underestimate hardcore Christians. Which ones? Think about that for a second. Which Christians? Which Christians? You say hardcore Christians. Which ones? There's a million different denominations and sects in this country of Christianity. The evangelical types are older. They're older. They're not young. How can you win a war with old people? You can't. You can't. Old people cannot win wars. The young win wars. The LARPing type, they're quite old. They're quite old. The DSA have more of a fanatical Christian strain in them than the right-winger ones. That's what you're underestimating. The DSA they have a puritanical strain in them that's absolutely 100% Christian. They would dog walk the right. They have a lot of urban centers. No. Look, if the left is pressed hard enough, you want to know where infrared came from? When the left was defeated in 2020, that's where some of y'all came from. Every time the left gets defeated, they become more extreme, or they become more radical, or they get their shit together. That's what y'all did. 2020 was a failed revolution. So y'all learned and adapted, and that's where infrared came from. Right? You learned. Why would it fail? What was the problem? And so a lot of this movement came from that. The left has that's not going to end just with infrared. The left can adapt. It has a lot of adaptability. Okay, that trajectory, that lineage, that's going places. The right wing, it's going nowhere. Nowhere. I promise you, the right wing is going nowhere in the long term. Okay? So when Nick Fuentes says all this shit, he says he wants Jackson to be drone striked. Okay, Nick, half of this country wants you to be drone striked inside the U.S. Here, not over there in some Middle Eastern country. Here, in this country, half of Americans want you drone striked. Or worse. Why are you worrying about your Mossad handlers killing Jackson in a foreign country? Most of your compatriots hate you. 50% maybe hate you. Even the people who support you, even, I'm a normal guy, I'm outside sometimes. Even people who used to tell me, I like Nick Fuentes, everyone's so disillusioned with this Nick Fuentes guy now. They go, he's a shill for Israel, this Epstein stuff. He's like totally, doesn't have my support. They liked him because he was talking about Israel a year ago or something, and now nobody gives a fuck about this guy. It's so tragic, this boy wonder, Nick Fuentes. Let me tell you the truth. You want to hear it? The truth. If you want to be a far-right neo-Nazi, you go to the extreme ones, okay? The ones that are to the right of Nick Fuentes, that's where you go. The extreme ones, right? If you want anti-Zionism, then you're going to go with what he calls the brown hordes, the third worldist browns. So Nick, he's in between the third worldist browns and the extreme right-wingers. So where's Nick's vital foundation? What's his foundation? His foundation is literally collapsing at the seams and rapidly dividing between those two currents, pulling in opposite directions. And that's the tragedy. A lot of the generational run of Nick Fuentes, it came from the brown hordes that he so resents. Okay, now they're leaving him. Okay, but the only thing he would have left is the white nationalism thing. But if you're a white nationalist, why would you follow Nick Fuentes and not one of these more extreme types, if that's the thing that you care about the most? Alas, this guy is doomed. He just has no future. He's done. He's dead in the water. Can I say?
With Randy Fine and Laura Loomer, these people are psychotic. They want us to die in the eschaton. They want the church to be.
Now, the Third World Communist Alliance is the greatest enemy. Okay.
Be destroyed so they could get their menorah from 2,000 years ago. I'm still not okay with that. But these other people, they're just the other side of the same coin. So we need something a little bit different, a little bit of a different flavor. Time for another night for Americans. 250 was a night for Americans. It was clarifying.
Okay, he can wish whatever he wants, but the way the wind blows is just how it goes, and you can cry and wish for whatever you want, doesn't mean anything. Zionist bitch! Just a dead in the water, pathetic, destroyed. Who wants to have a TikTok live? We're gonna do TikTok live. Guys, I made some Suno songs. I made some music on Suno. But no one likes my music, so I won't share it with you. Because you guys say it's burger music, so I'm not going to share it. But they're really good, but you can't hear it. Seeing infrared, we'll find what we're looking for sure. Y'all want to hear that song I have? Are y'all ready for that? We'll find what we're looking for sure. Flacco, what's up? We'll find what we're looking for. You want to hear it? One's if you want to hear it. It's so beautiful. Okay, it's so beautiful, though. It's like a beautiful song. So it's just kind of, it's not like, you know when a song goes hard, it's like, yeah, this goes hard. But then when a song is just beautiful, it's just kind of like, you're supposed to listen to it by yourself because it's kind of awkward. It's like, all right, I mean, what pretty sublime experience, but why are we collectively listening to this together? Okay, this is the song I made. Ready?
One step to your miss. See an infrared. All that's left unsaid.
Okay, the guy who said really subtle. I literally, okay. This is quite subtle, actually. All right? This is quite subtle.
For sure. beyond. Take us beyond the furious rain.
Music that expresses the sentiment of mom, you don't understand me. That's why I don't share my shit with y'all anymore. Y'all want to roast me, you want to call it burger music, you want to make fun of me. I'm not going to share it with you. I'm not going to share it with y'all. See, the reason I'm not going to share it, though, is it's not that music is not an anthem. It's not like Allah Cosmos Xi Jinping. Like, we can't make edits with that. But it's something I made that I thought sounded nice, so I saved it for myself. But I won't share it with you because I like strong melodies. You're right, I do. I love melodies. That's the truth. I love melodies. Seeing it for Bryce, what's up? So who wants to debate that Marxism equals Islam? Who will debate this? The Tic-Tackers have been traumatized by my music, so. Brisket and coleslaw music. Don't want to make Haas feel bad. You know, if it had a jungle beat, it would go hard. Okay, let's just say on Suno, I found a way to make covers. Okay, do you want to see the Lana Del Rey cover that I made? Y'all want to see it? It was an experiment. This was like, what's up, Rabbi? This one was like an experiment, but I kind of think it sounds kind of cool. Y'all want to hear it? One step to your miss. Oh my God, this person, Epstein. All right, y'all want to hear? I don't have it anymore. Wait, hold on. I just got to refresh. Nobody on TikTok wants to step up and debate. That's crazy. All right, anyway, let's... Okay. All right, I'm not going to share. It's kind of cringy. I'm too shy. I'm not going to share that one. Because the lyrics are so undercooked. I had to make them in 20 minutes. They're very undercooked. I just was trying to find lyrics that fit the melody, but they're like I'm too shy. I'm not going to share it. No, I'm not going to share it.
In all rage, skirting all lines between real and the fake, dark and lonely.
Wait. That was...
Solid click, sick ram.
This part's kind of cool.
It's a war story for the screen age. Built a sky cage. Solid click, sick rampage. Watching and lying, thinking and spying.
League of Legends music. All right, bye. I'm not going to show it to you again. Bro, I'm so shy about this. I'm not going to show anyone. I'm not even like... I have to do Suno. I have to do the manual stuff. There's so much things I don't like, but it's like... Do you know how hard it was to get that melody, the melody that's copyrighted? I know how to do that shit. That's the achievement here. No, I'm not going to show it to y'all. Y'all don't deserve it. Y'all make fun of me too much. You make me too shy. Can I... Okay, someone wants to... someone is requesting to speak. Go ahead.
High infrared.
You look familiar. Who are you? You
I look familiar?
You came on the.
I know I've never been up here before. I just have one question
I just
for you.
confuse all these anime people for the same thing.
No, I promise I've never been up here.
Okay, what do you want?
Do you like mangoes?
No.
What?
No.
I'm out of here.
All right, bye. I don't like them actually because it's a cheap imitation of orange, and it's like they're not good for you and they're just terrible. Chimp, go ahead.
Jew.
I had him muted. Everyone thinks I'm Jewish. Everyone thinks I'm Jewish. Everyone thinks I'm Jewish. They can detect this Semitic. Even the way I smile, it's like it's like a cartoon from Germany, you know? It's like a German cartoon about Bolshevism. You know I can't say the Yazis. They were targeting them because they were afraid of me. That's why they were afraid of the infrared movement. They were because one of their sages, one of their astrologers was like, from the Semitic tribe will come the final global victory of communism. So that's all they had to work with. They would have never expected it would have been a Lebanese guy. That's the problem. There's a guy named Dean's Frame Mog. Why would I allow this person? DPRM, go ahead.
Oh shit. What's good?
You snooze, you lose. Okay, the Frame Mog. What?
Hello. What's the
Yeah.
HCP's opinion on Sneeko's brown clownery? I can't hear you. I'm like muted. Oh, there we go. ACP, I can't hear you.
Sneeko's what?
Brown clownery,
Okay, such as what?
like screaming in New York, declaring it Islamic jihadic state.
Yeah, what was the problem with that? Really, who cares? Why was everyone so upset by that? They must be because they think it's true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's true. We just don't want that here.
Okay, but where's the imminent threat of that happening? I don't understand. That's what I didn't like. Why did it trigger so many people? Like where's the imminent threat coming from that this is going to be the case?
Well, no one's threatened with Sneeko.
Okay, so why was everyone so like offended by it? Like who cares?
I don't think you have to be like threatened to be offended, right? You could just see something.
What about that was so offensive? What's so wrong with the idea? The mere imagination, the mere thought of it. What's so offensive about it?
Well, we don't want you doing your show of forces of your like foreign religions in New York City, right? This is America.
So it's only about a show of force. Okay, so if a bunch of white people in Colorado converted to Islam and then, we're doing the same thing, would it be okay?
Yeah, we don't want these foreign people. Like, even if they're from America, it's like a foreign religion.
What do you mean a foreign religion? That's where you lose me, because I mean you lost me from the beginning, but
Well, this is clearly like a Middle Eastern
No, but that's ridiculous. So if everyone had that mentality, there would be no Christianity because Christianity was foreign to Europe. Europe. Europe
Yeah, but they
was
say
foreign. Was
you know,
foreign.
yeah, but like it's clearly
It's a small-minded nonsense. I can't accept it because Islam was brought to the greatness by the Turks, by the Persians, by people who were foreign to the Arabs. It was foreign to them too. So when you say, "Oh, it's foreign," I mean you're just a small-minded person. You're not even worthy of what we call man. You know, you are just kind of a small hobbit from the Hobbit, from Tolkien. You live in a potato village and you can't think of anything big. I like bigness. I like big thinking. I don't like the small potato thinking. It doesn't, you're not speaking anything I can recognize or respect. Why did he leave? Okay, if it's false because it's foreign, that's not because it's false. It sounds like you have nothing to stand on. Oh, it's false. Arabs spread Islam. Okay, though they had one big push. And then for the rest of history, it was the Persians, it was the Turks. That's it. They had a big push, and then it was over. And then it was the Turks, and it was the Persians. All sorts of people became Muslim, like Indonesians. Okay, they're not Arabs, they became Muslim. You know what's funny? This is the nuke. Islam was foreign to the Arabs. You know, that's why Islam, actually, it's true. Because if this is your objection, you may as well convert. You know, when the Prophet, he said, Islam came to this world as a strange religion. It will return to this world as a strange religion. Strange. When did the Persians spread to Europe? Actually, the Ottomans were a Turco-Persianate civilization, okay? About 25% of the Turkish language is borrowed from Farsi, from Persian. So if you qualify it in that way, then the Ottomans, who would be the same thing for this argument, by the way, did actually make inroads into Europe. They had several wars with European countries, the Venetians, the Holy League, and they spread into the Balkans, which is also part of Europe. So these are facts. These are facts. So if you're saying, oh, it's foreign, okay. Well, the truth is foreign. If you're scared of the truth because it's foreign, you have no ground to stand on. You have a pagan mentality. Oh, I only like the things familiar to me. Okay, was Jesus familiar to anyone? Who was Jesus to some lumberjack forest village in Scandinavia? You know, everything true is foreign. It's alien. It's outside. Okay, that's not a good argument. It's not a good argument. Kusei, go ahead.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
It seems like there's a little delay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so I want to understand, like, how does a, like, economic system go hand in hand with Islam? Like, why is a business?
That's not a debate. That's a question. Evil Guzman, go ahead.
I have a question.
How old are you?
Is he? I'm 18.
No, what is this?
Okay, I thought Marxism was anti-theist.
We got 11-year-old Gonzalez. We got, what is where are the parents? Where are the parents? We got 11-year-old Gonzalez running around. Where are the parents? Where are the parents? The Kirby Peter Griffin is a scary one, I think, right? Go ahead.
Whoa. What's up, man? How's it going?
All right.
Did Muhammad marry like a minor?
No.
No?
We Shia don't believe that. I don't know why you're bringing that up to me. We got nothing to do with that. Don't take that up with me. We don't believe that. I'm
You
Shia.
sure?
We don't believe that. No, Shias don't believe that. We don't believe that. We believe she was, like 19 or something. We don't believe,
You believe,
that nonsense.
but that wasn't.
But that's the Shia view. So we don't subscribe to that view. I'm
So
Shia.
you're just-
No, I'm Shia. I'm
So you're-
Shia.
You're pivoting.
I'm pivoting.
I mean, not pivoting from the
tradition
debate.
that says
Pivoting
the
from the
tradition
fact
that
she was a
says she
minor.
was younger comes from the Sunnis. There's a conflict over history between Shias and Sunnis. They don't agree about the facts. The one that you're citing comes from the Sunnis.
So let me get this straight, because I'm not religious. So they both coincide with each other, but you just choose to believe in the other part.
That's part of how religion is. If you believe in a religion, you
So
believe
cognitive
in.
dissonance.
There's no historical evidence that says that the
Are
Sunni
you sure about
narration
that?
is more accurate. Yeah, where's the evidence the Sunni narration is more accurate than the Shia one?
I mean, I
on
don't
this
know.
specific
I don't
topic?
follow
You don't know.
pedophiles,
You really
so-
don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
You
I
don't
follow
know.
pedophiles,
Yeah, I don't
so
know.
I wouldn't
You just
know.
got nuked. That's how Shias are protecting Islam.
Yeah, that's why
because
you got
can't
ran
even
off
use
of YouTube, right?
you can't even use that argument against
That's why you
us.
got ran off of YouTube and every debate platform, right?
How did I get ran off YouTube? I stream on Kick for money. What do you mean I got ran off?
Oh shit, man!
You got cornered. You got cornered on the Shia,
I'm
the Great
cornered.
Wall
You're
of
the
Shiism.
Holodomor Hobbit, buddy.
Oh, did you learn that from Reddit? From Destiny? The Holodomor?
From who?
You have more funny words than you.
From who? From who?
From Destiny on Reddit, the Holodomor Hobbit. It's such a catchy word. Do you have
Shit,
any
you're
more funny
spurging
words?
out, dude.
No, I'm spurging out. It's not an autistic thing to be like, oh, you're the small guy from Smolyansk. Oh, you're the small guy from.
Yeah, how's Russia doing?
No, wait. Is the joke that Holodomor and Hobbit both start with H?
I don't
That's such a
care.
witty thing. That's
How's
such a
Russia
witty.
doing?
But that's so witty.
How's Russia doing?
How's Ukraine doing?
Pretty good. They just bombed the shit out of all the refineries.
How's the male population of Ukraine doing?
I don't know, but they just bombed the shit out of like every refinery in Russia, so I think they're
okay.
fucked.
Okay. You think Russia will be defeated by that? How's Ukraine doing?
Brother, I don't know how much propaganda stuff you
How's
eat,
Ukraine?
but-
I was in Moscow for 5-6 times for the past year or two.
You want a
Moscow's
fucking
fine.
cookie?
Moscow's fine.
It
They're
doesn't
fine.
seem that way.
But they're fine in Moscow. They're fine in St. Petersburg.
Doesn't
They're fine
seem
in
that
Moscow.
way.
Okay. Have you been there? How would you know?
I have to be. I have to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, man! Your mental gymnastics are pretty fucking impressive, I must say.
It's just the mental gymnastics that I learned from Reddit. Reddit.
You done yet? Anyways, why is Muhammad a pedophile?
He wasn't.
Brother.
He wasn't.
You
He
sure?
simply wasn't. Yes, he simply wasn't.
You sure about that?
If I'm a Shia, yes.
If you're a, I don't know what that means.
Yeah. First of all, you're talking about religion and you're talking about facts. You don't even know what a Shia
I
or a
mean,
Sunni is.
You do acknowledge
It's as
that
simple
she
as
was-
that. He doesn't even know what a Shia or a Sunni is. He wants to talk to me. We don't believe that. I don't know why right-wingers or these anti-Muslim people, they always say, oh, but Muhammad. Buddy, I'm a Shia. When did I agree or like what are you talking about? We don't have anything to do with that. Shias don't believe that. We don't. It's like we have a totally different tradition. The LARP must end. Marx did not advocate a specific opium. Marx did not have any familiarity with Islam at all. But all he did was he just rediscovered Islam indirectly. You know, Marxism is just Islam. That's just really the truth. I mean, I'm not saying Marx directly knew this, but you don't have to know it you don't have to know consciously. Marxism is Islam. It's the same thing. And I can prove it. I can prove it. I can prove it. Anyone who wants to debate it, there is no way to comprehend Marx's materialist criticism of Hegel and all of philosophy within the theological framing that confines itself to Judeo-Christianity at all. And Marx makes that abundantly clear in the Jewish question. The Jewish question is how Marx establishes himself as clearly he's drawing from something outside the so-called Judeo-Christian tradition. Because he regards these two as forms, different divisions of labor within the same alienation. The etymology of Islam is literally directly about the overcoming of alienation. Completedness, wholeness. That's the whole etymology of Islam. Completion, totality, integrity, right? The whole mission of Marx's project of overcoming alienation and the division of labor, which he identifies with communism, is directly already a world historical reality at the inception of Islam, which Europe had no familiarity with at all, and was catching up with for centuries and centuries. So we can explain that too. I'll go through the history if you want. But Marxism is about the resolution of alienation. That's the central point of Marxism, the resolution of alienation and the restoration of the material integrity of being and mankind. That's literally the mission of Islam. That's what Islam means. Etymologically, that's what Islam means. It doesn't mean submission, doesn't mean peace. It means completion. It means restoration, implying there was a disconnect and alienation, right? You have to study and learn the etymology to understand that. Most people don't. So yes, Marxism is Islam. It's the same thing. The whole vitality of Marxism is channeling Islam. J7, go ahead.
Hello.
What?
I have one question.
All right.
Do you play Team Fortress 2, brother?
No.
Why not?
Because it's a stupid game. It's an old, stupid game, and people who
It's
play
still
it are just...
popular, brother.
No, it's a stupid old game.
Clearly you don't know ball. Clearly you don't know
No,
ball.
it's a stupid old game that only stupid people play.
I'm not stupid.
I disagree.
Don't call me stupid, brother.
I disagree. Kareem, what's up?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would consider myself to be a neo-libertarian phalangist, and I would say Islam most aligns with that ideology.
It really doesn't, though, when you think about it.
I mean, it's an anti-authoritarian ideology which combines national syndicalism.
But Islam would reject the idea of a syndicalism or a phalange, because that's a principle not of comprehensive absolute unity, but a principle of kind of joint negotiated power between syndicates and corporates and stuff. And Islam would actually regard this as a type of shirk or, disunity and unbecoming of the monotheism of Islam, the unifying universalistic orientation. So actually Islam would reject this neo-libertarian phalangism, if we want to get into it.
I mean, I think Marx himself was a neo-libertarian phalangist, if you want to get into that. I mean, I think...
No, Marx was Marx asserted a comprehensive monism of oneness of man, universalism, right? He didn't have any patience for this Mussolinite nonsense.
I don't think you know anything about neo-libertarian phalangism. Do you know how it rose?
Why don't you come up with a new term, or it's like a boring one. You keep bringing it up. And the Tung Tung Sahur accelerationism, right? Are those the only two ideologies that exist anymore? Like you have nothing else to invent? Green, go ahead.
Sorry, I had to turn my music off. How's it going?
What do you want?
Yeah, totally. I can. There's actually a specific quote from Marx that disproves this idea that Marxism is equal to Islam.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you read Marx to Engels, July 30th, 1862,
Mm.
it disproves this in the about the third paragraph.
Okay. They did not have any understanding or familiarity with Islam, so how can they be faulted for not realizing they were already Muslims?
No, this like directly disproves that they do not believe in Islam.
They don't know Islam.
They
By
absolutely do.
that time, Islam only existed in basically maybe 2 or 3 forms: the Ottomans, the Persians, and then India. You know, so that was the Islam that they were familiar with.
Then why do they like directly name it and refute it?
They name probably the familiarity Europeans had with Mohammedanism and Islam
Have you read this
at that
letter?
time. What?
Have you read this letter?
That one I don't recall, but I probably have read it. If you read it, I probably read it. I don't
It
remember that
sounds like you're
specific
making
date.
it up off the fly, though. Like, why would you talk about something that you don't know much about?
Because I'm familiar with the things they've said about Islam, but I don't remember the dates of the specific letters.
Would you give it a read for us?
What?
Like, pull it up.
Pull up that letter from 1862.
Yeah.
Before I read it, I know that Engels actually did understand the cyclical Muqammada theory from Ibn Khaldun about the cyclical revolutions in the Islamic world.
Okay.
What's the date?
This one is 2 Engels.
What's the date?
July 30th, 1862.
Yeah, the link is broken. Hold on. 1862. July 30th. So the MIA website is down.
Then try another website, perhaps.
This one is about the United States Army. July 30th, 1862, letter to Karl Marx by Frederick Engels. And it's the primary topics about the U.S. Army. Are you sure you got the right one? Why did he leave? Why did he leave? This one is about, it's not about Islam. Am I wrong? This is about the U.S. Civil War. What the hell? Why did he leave? Oh, to Engels. Okay, so Marx to Engels. Okay, this website's down. Oh, is this the one with Lassalle? This is not... Wait, hold on. No. It's not. Sorry. He used racial slurs. Ah, this is the Lassalle one. Okay, this is the famous one. Okay, he's talking about Garibaldi. Okay. Ah, the second paragraph. Okay, what were you hoping to, what were you hoping to accomplish by confronting me with this letter? Like what was your goal here? Okay, nobody's requesting anymore. That's such a shame. Debate Carlos Garrido. You know, me and Carlos, we We are wizards, you know, in a way. Me and Carlos are wizards. We speak a different language. We're on the same page about more than you'd think. More than you'd think. Ah, the bunny is here. Well, we're desperate for some content, so we'll. Well, I didn't kick that person. They can request again. Go ahead, the bunny.
Is my mic working?
Yeah, yes.
Pause, it's me. I'm the villain.
I
hope you know that.
You're a child, bro. You need a.
I'm the villain. You're scared.
Where are the parents? Where are the parents? Really? We'll find what we're looking for sure. Seeing infrared. We'll find what we're looking for sure. Seeing infrared. Michael Hudson was not a Trotskyite. I don't know why you guys claim this. He was not. He's not, I mean. His parents were. That doesn't mean, you know, what is this? The sins of the Trotskyite father pass on to the son? How does this work, you know? Marx Caulfield.
You know, it is kind of LARP when you think about it. Because it's like everywhere, Marx and Engels.
I don't like this anime, you know, thing. It's like... It's like... I don't know what the hell is going on. You're about to cook me. I mean, dude, you're an anime fan. I don't know what you can possibly contribute to any conversation or dialogue that would be of any... Whatever. Nah, let him talk. No! Okay, we'll bring them on again because we have no other content.
Well. You let me back up just seconds after.
Okay, say what you want to say.
So, everywhere Marx and Engels talk about Islam, you just say they didn't know Islam, but then you say that they would have been Muslim. Like, do you really think that they would have been Muslim?
No, they are Muslim. They were Muslim.
In some vague metaphorical sense? I mean, you could probably say that Marxism is Islam, but you could probably say it through an Islamic lens. Like, I kind of like what you say about how the material world and like doing good things in the material world would be serving God, but that's kind of like Islam first, not Marxism first.
You are too focused on labels and identities, and you don't care about thinking about the essence of things. So the essence of Islam is what I care
What the fuck am I, Plato?
What do you mean? It's like the essence of things. You have to be Plato to care about the essence?
Yeah. Okay.
No,
but,
I'm saying the essence of things. So the essence of Marxism and the essence of Islam are the same thing. And what Marx believed, okay, look, I'll put it this way. Marx did not comprehend that his discovery was just rediscovering Islam. I agree. And does that mean his Islam was not complete?
Yeah, so I don't know, that all went over my head, but Marx wrote that Islam is a divisive religion. Marx wrote that Islam is divisive, and that would be contrary to the working class. No, Declaration of War on the History of the Eastern Question, New York Tribune, 1854.
Islam would divide the working class where?
He says that Islamism, Quran, divides the working class and makes the infidel the enemy, and it creates a permanent degree of hostility between Muslim and non-Muslim.
In Turkey, he's talking about?
I'm not sure if it's Turkey. I didn't read the whole thing, but I read like the main quote.
Guys, my mic is good or what? You saying it's not working? Does it work now?
No, it's good.
Okay, 1854. Let's get the context.
Hey,
Marx.
a comment. Where? Islamism. He says the word Islamism.
No, it was translated that way, I'm sure.
Maybe. But I mean, there's a lot of archaic words in this.
There's no such thing as Islamism. Okay. And if he used that word, he didn't mean it in the modern sense.
Well, there's a lot of archaic words in here.
2 nations and of 2 countries, the faithful and the infidels. True. Islamic societies, their only class or caste distinction that was legally relevant was between Muslims and non-Muslims. It's absolutely true. The infidel is Harbi, the enemy. That's not actually strictly true. Because, actually, it's not true because there's the people of the book. There are people that were non-Muslims who were tolerated. Enjoy the same legal rights as Muslims, so that's why there is a distinction. But they were not actually considered infidels by default. Islam prescribes the nation of the infidels, constituting a state of permanent hostility between the Musliman and the unbeliever. In that sense, the courser ships of the Berber states were the holy feet of Islam. How then is the existence of Christian subjects of the port to be reconciled with the Quran? Okay, he's talking about the jizya. Okay. Let's see.
Like I said, I didn't read the whole thing.
Was this the context of the Crimean
Does he not
War?
just say that? Does he not say that it's divisive?
I'm looking for divisive. I don't know where.
Well, I didn't say use the word divisive.
No, he's just describing Islamic societies. Let me get some context here. Let me see the exact date of the Crimean War to be sure. I believe this was about the Crimean War. Okay. So, this text, you can check me if I'm wrong, but I would be willing to bet in this text he is actually defending Turkey against the accusations that, you know, the Greek Christians are so persecuted and the Greek separatistic impulse that many in Europe were sympathetic with. Because he supported Turkey in the Crimean War, actually. He did, actually. He was for the alliance with Turkey against...
I mean, how do you gauge that, though? He says, he didn't read the beginning of the quote. He says the Quran and the Muslim legislation emanating from it. He's talking about Islam on a base level. He's not really talking about states or how states implement Islam.
No, he's speaking about the extent of his knowledge of Muslim societies, and it's vaguely true, but it's not exact. But then he goes on to explain exactly how it's not so much the case. He's speaking to a conventional prejudice people have that, yes, Islam strictly divides between believers and infidels, but how can we explain the existence of Christian communities in Islamic countries? The Christians enjoy the privilege of living as rayas under the Turkish government. So actually, Marx is addressing ignorance and prejudice about the claim that Christians are persecuted under the Turks. That would be the context, because he supported Turkey in the Crimean War, actually, when he considered Russia a reactionary power. So he's explaining how, you know, he's explaining the nuances about how actually Christians do. I'm just reading more of it.
Fuck you, TPH.
Yeah, he's not saying it divides the working class. He's just describing the relationship between the Turkish authorities and other religions, principally the Christian faith.
I don't know, but I also wanted to ask you about the other guy quickly. Said like there's a difference between Sunni and Shia on the topic of Aisha and stuff like that. Would Sahih al-Bukhari not be like also the biggest hadith book for Shias? Like, isn't that just the biggest hadith book in general? Sahih al-Bukhari.
The what for Shias?
Like the biggest hadith book, the most reliable.
Look, I can't tell you much except Shias don't believe Aisha was that young. That's all I could tell you.
But you're like the expert on Islam. You don't even know if Sahih al-Bukhari is like a hadith book for Shias or
whatever hadith claims that she was that young is not accepted by Shias. That claim is not accepted.
Do you guys accept hadiths? I would assume.
Shias have their own hadiths that they accept, I believe. They're not the same as the Sunni hadiths.
What is the metric that makes a hadith authentic? Because as soon as or just Muslims in general, they say that the hadith about Aisha is one of the most reliable.
But Sunnis and Shias don't agree with that.
What do you mean?
They don't agree that they don't agree on all the hadiths. It's that simple. They have their own differences.
Okay.
They're historical differences. They're just different lineages of narration.
That's a good point. The hadith is Aisha's narrative. Or a lot of them are.
Shias especially would not accept a narration by Aisha herself. Because she has a very poor status among Shias.
How come?
Well, you have to look at the history of the fitna and how Aisha was fighting against. Fitna? Because Aisha was fighting against Ali and his claim to the caliphate, to being caliph.
He was fighting Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, I mean, so why are you even, if you're not interested in the topic, why bring it up?
No, don't worry, I'm interested.
Shias don't like Aisha. They don't, historically, because of her conflict with Ali. Shia means partisan of Ali. That's what it means. Follower of Ali. Okay?
Yep. Yeah, I'm kind of spaced out. I don't know what you're saying.
Okay, well, you just don't care. You're ignorant. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, Mango, go ahead. Oh, even Sunnis believe she was 19. Okay, that's good to hear. I guess we both agree then. So even Sunnis agree she's 19. I didn't know that. Okay, so we both on the same page. I don't know where this idea that she's so young came from, but most Sunnis agree I don't know. I think everyone has their own views. But I could just tell you what I was taught and what I know. It's just... I blocked Green. Who is Green? Reindustrialization's reactionary. That's quite ridiculous. Why is it reactionary? The productive forces. I mean, you could say no. You're confusing two things. The fourth industrial revolution is historically progressive, but Marx talks about the metabolic rift. So, for example, the restoration of agriculture is not reactionary. Attending to the premises of production is not reactionary on a new basis. But if you were to take a stance of saying that industrialization, is this ideal we need to return to versus the information age, then you would be a reactionary ideologically. Who is green? I blocked green. I don't know. Industrial automation abolishes, which equals free time. But that still implies reindustrialization. And free time, by the way, the only way to open it up is if people do work in industry for like 1 hour a day. But then you could just do it so the thing that's progressive would be everyone works as a real, in real industry for 1 hour a day. Then for all this service sector stuff, it's just free time then, That's how you reduce labor hours. Let TP, I know TP, Jesus Christ. Y'all want him up. Okay, True Philosophy, what's up, man?
What's good, Doc? So, I could talk about two things. Which one would you prefer? Part of the Islam claim, or the things from before, like the Marxist black pill?
Not the black pill. So let's go out of Islam.
All right, maybe we'll reach that. But with the Islam thing, so does your particular sect of Islam believe that God is omnipresent?
Well, what do you mean by that? What is God? I mean, what are we talking about here?
Well, I remember in the Farah debate, you said that God is the governing principle of the cosmos.
So yeah, I mean, this is how I would put it. Basically, Marx has a specific materialist humanism, which regards man as the highest essence for man, right? Which basically means that man is this self-creating, self-relating being through their labor, by the way. And communism is the fulfillment of this reality in some way, right? But the reality is already, the premises are already in existence. So man is a social being, and man is simultaneously self-relating by means of labor, self-creating in some sense. But because man is, because we have to deal with something called the strong anthropic principle, right? The strong anthropic principle is the question of, because human beings exist, there's something about the cosmos that makes this inevitable, likely, or necessary, right? So there's something about the emergence of human beings that on some level reflects fundamental laws of the cosmos. So the fact that human beings have a natural history, that there are things that precede human beings, that there's a cosmology of man, so to speak, there is a principle more fundamental within the material real than human beings, right? And which is across the different forms of matter, and which is across time and space and so on and so on. It's a fundamental laws of the cosmos. Now, when we regard these laws in their totality and speak of what reality do they comprise, I mean, you just can say that's God, That's what God is. God is that fundamental principle of universal existence. And you can call it something else if you want, but it's necessary that there is such a principle. And we cannot say it's man, because man does not always exist. We can say it's the thing that makes man inevitable, but then you're lining up with the Genesis kind of idea that man is created by God, right? But not in the Freemasonic demiurgic way where God has matter and then makes man according like a architect or something, right? So, yeah, I have a more cosmist. I mean, if you have to nail me to a cross of a religion, I would say if you understand cosmism, my claims about Marxism being Islam make sense. So cosmism was the esoteric outlook of Soviet Marxism-Leninism since the times of the revolution. And there was a big mixture between Lunacharsky, who is a kind of a cult mystic. Lunacharsky was the head of religion. Lunacharsky and the God Builders, as they were called, had this idea that because Marxism regards religion as the alienation from humanity, that all of these sacred religious truths contain these rational kernels that reveal things about the nature of humanity and communism and material reality and so on and so on. So Lunacharsky basically establishes this kind of merging between the Marxism and the esoteric. And then the cosmist philosophical currents that predate the Soviet state already were imbuing scientific materialism with a kind of mystical undercurrent, right? So this merging point between the modern, the rational, the scientific, and the esoteric and the mystical already was happening independently in Russia, but then you also have it through Marxism, through people like Lunacharsky. So the two currents converge, and the architects of the Soviet state and their leading ideologists, their artists, and so on, they just kind of seamlessly imbue and absorb the circles, the ideas, the sentiments that come from this. And more or less, you know, that's why there's this kind of mystical side to Soviet Marxism that a lot of people aren't aware, because it comes from what this tradition broadly gets called cosmism, right? Cosmism.
Right. So I guess one more thing that I want to know about this is: are you arguing that they're structurally identical, or that the people who sort of were foundational to Islam had literally discovered it before Marx was around to do it?
I think Islam. What do you mean?
Like,
no, Marxism is Islam. Islam is not Marxism. So Marxism is Islam, but Islam is not Marxism. Islam is actually something more fundamental, right? Marxism, let's say it's like a symptom of Islam. It's a symptom of the fact that Islam, historically speaking, had unfinished business with the world. So Europe went its own way, and it largely ignored the Orient, the Muslim world. Especially with the Enlightenment, the Age of Reason, it had presumed it had conquered and defeated all religion. But the trajectory, the history of Europe avoided being conquered by Muslim armies, and Europe, the structure of European feudalism and many other factors were basically the chief, factor behind that. But then you also had the Battle of Vienna, the Holy League, and the defeat of the Ottomans in Europe. So then there was an assumption that Europe has basically kept Islam at bay, but something different was happening. Internally speaking, the same problems that gave rise to Islam in the first place were independently rearing their head in Europe.
In the essay, do you go over the sects, or I don't know how exactly the divisions work, but like, do you go over those who say that, like, the things that were written as for people to follow as lists of rules, that do you go over those who say that that's universal?
I don't know, but I do focus on some very esoteric sects that were not well known from Islam, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, people will take issue with my use of the word, but what can I say?
Do you have any idea of when it's like coming out, like a range or something like that?
I wanted to finish it today, but alas, I keep getting jerked around, and it's quite tragic.
Yeah. Hey, let me say, my loyalty is with the Gorillas officially, and I'm saying this in front of 56 people and some fans. So
now you're saying it in front of like 400. So
oh yeah, kick. All right, even better, right? Now, do you? I think I prevailed on the point that within the subjectivity of inkwells, they do in fact.
Okay, we're done. We gotta go. We gotta go. All right. All right, I'm ending the TikTok live now because did you know that the person who came last time, that was Bouncy Ben? There was some boring person. They were saying, I heard something about Stalin. And I was just like, oh, I don't, whatever. Yeah, when I get bored of people, I kick them. It was some random, no-name, anonymous person. And it was Bouncy Ben pretending to be someone. And then he posted, he said, Haas ran away from a debate. It's like you disguised yourself as someone you're not because you're too afraid to show your face. And then you claimed I ran away. You didn't even challenge me to debate anything. You just asked me a question. I thought it was dumb. But he has this thing that he claims that Stalin, that there's these new revelations. So if you don't know, there's a huge comprehensive debunk of the allegation against Stalin that he impregnated a 13-year-old, right? And only one of these debunks revolve around the fact that the birth date of the alleged illegitimate son of Stalin was born like 11 months after she supposedly got impregnated, which is impossible. But then Bouncy Ben, apparently he found evidence that actually he was born 44 weeks later. Okay, but 44 weeks in Siberia, it's not very likely, okay? It's really not also likely. And that's the least. The whole thing about the timing is not even the main reason why it's preposterous. It's about the timing of where he was in October. That's the thing. Where was he October 21st in 1916? That's the main evidence against the claim is where was he? Could it have been possible that he was even there in the right time, right? Sam, go ahead.
What's up?
But why do you say what's up like I'm talking to you? You came. What do you want?
Why do you say Marxism is Islam?
Because it is.
Do you not agree with Marx's definition from the German ideology?
Yeah, I do actually. I agree with his definition. It was very Muslim.
It's very Muslim. What's his definition in the German ideology?
He said his definition is that all faiths are wrong except Islam.
Did you see the White House posted this shit about you can't be a patriot and a communist?
I did.
Is that disappointing for you?
No, it was the best thing ever. Where it's going to propel us into more relevancy.
The ACP?
Why would I be upset? Everyone who's competent. I mean, we're one of the competent ones. I don't know about the others, but they won't know how to exploit things like that, but we do.
We got like one ACPer here in Minneapolis.
No,
I don't really know what she gets up to.
It's not the one. You have more than one. Come on.
What do y'all get up to?
Why don't you ask them? They get up to it. They're making a farmhouse.
I never see them like standing up to ICE or doing much of anything.
But they were there, actually. They were there.
I didn't see them.
But they were there. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. I'm sure. Like, but what else do y'all get up to? A farmhouse, you said?
No, a library, a rural library. They were making one. I mean, there's a lot of things, actually.
Nice.
There's a lot of things. Labor organizing, community service, disaster relief, social investigation, education seminars, events, construction type of stuff, skill sharing. I mean,
that's good.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything you can think of within our realm of possibility is being done.
But why do it in this strange kind of niche way that doesn't appeal to most of to I guess like most communists living here in the imperial core?
Because most people
you're
are
doing, like,
Democrats.
patriotism and stuff?
Just because that most people are just Democrats. You have to understand, to be independent politically, have independent authority, you can either be a cult or you're going to be a Democrat. We're trying to find another path.
What about, like, don't you think that it's a little fucked up to uphold a settler colonial nation? Especially, what is ACP's take on Palestine?
I mean, we're probably the most pro-Palestine organization in America.
Well, that can't be true because you identify as an American organization. If you had any sense of solidarity, you would also stand in solidarity with natives here.
We do, of course we do.
By defending the legacy of the nation that
If
ethnically
natives
cleansed
had
them.
an uprising tomorrow, I would not condemn it, and I would not complain about it. I mean, that's the limits of what I can say. But if natives had an uprising tomorrow, no issue for me at all.
Yeah. Does the ACP like have a line on colonialism in the United States?
How can we impose upon the natives anything? You know what I mean? Like
Through
how can we
collaboration with
speak?
them?
Absolutely, we're open.
Like
to
you said there's more than one ACPer in Minneapolis. Why aren't they like collaborating with Little Earth or
Maybe they are. You don't know.
East
Maybe they
Phillips
are.
Neighborhood Institute? Well, I know they aren't, but
There's many indigenous or native, whatever you call them, people. I mean, I think many like to be called Indians, but there's many of them.
yeah. But I just mean like, guys, get serious, bruh.
Okay, but we're quite serious.
It doesn't seem that way, honestly. I don't involve myself too much in your org because they don't do anything here. But it just kind of
Well,
seems
maybe
like
you should
LARP
talk to them and see,
time.
because you maybe talk to them and ask them what they're doing, because
Well, yeah, but they're nowhere to be seen. They're not at, the actions. They weren't a part of the encampment at the university.
in 24, when?
Yeah.
No, we launched in July
Spring at.
24, so we couldn't have been.
Ah, that's right. Okay, fair enough. But, like, what's going on with y'all? Did you split from CPUSA?
That's not how we interpret that, but you could say that. I mean, I wouldn't say it that way, but I guess you could if you wanted.
Why the emphasis on, like, machismo and stuff that I see on Twitter?
Those things are just inevitable if you're independent from the Democrats, because if you're independent, that means you have your own authority, you have your own discipline, you have to. These things are inevitable when you have the audacity to just be independent.
You think that, like, male chauvinism is independence?
No, but I think men who are less willing to be deferential to social trends and be more outspoken and more, just willing to talk that shit. I mean, that's just kind of inevitable when you're independent.
I don't know. I think that it's actually, like, kind of a pernicious force in this country. The chauvinism and machismo. I think
But what you're
it's
calling,
leading to a lot of, like, right
what you're
wing sort of, like, fascistic trends.
No, what you're talking about is power and the willingness to use power and hold power. You're talking about authority. You're talking about militancy. You're talking about being strong and stuff. It's like, well, first of all, women can do that too. But second of all, that's a strong point of emphasis when you're independent. Like,
Yeah.
there was something very, even Maoist culture, it's like, yes, it was many women, but it was a very masculine, they weren't like getting pretty and stuff and doing their nails. They were like very militant, rugged, very masculine. Same with Bolsheviks, actually. Women were welcome to be part of it. They always are. But it was not very feminine. Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody would look at these revolutionary movements and say they were socially feminized, culturally feminized. You could say there was many women.
I don't know what
in
you
their
mean by
ranks.
culturally feminized. I think that this is
Like they were not playing into the feminine forms of culture and socialization. They weren't focusing on.
What is that? What is a feminine?
What is a
form of,
masculine
like, cultural
one? Because you're
organization?
talking about machismo. So what is the opposite of machismo?
I don't think that there is one that is
Because
that
the
represents a
idea of
significant threat in the
machismo
way that
implies.
patriarchal chauvinism does. I think that we clearly exist in a society where violence between men is and towards women from men is like super promoted by
and
like
it was, well, Bolsheviks.
low-key like the spear.
Bolsheviks were mainly women joined the Bolsheviks, and they joined the red cultures and youth leagues and clubs, and it was a very rough and tumble, toxic, masculine or patriarchal thing. They were welcome and they could participate in it as equals, but that didn't mean they were becoming feminine and they were painting their nails and they were wearing dresses.
Yeah,
It was that women
that
were
was
becoming more.
like 100 years ago.
All communist history, it's the same. It's not that men
No,
become
it's
more
not.
feminine.
That's antithetical to Marxist principles.
No, it's not true. Historically, when women become involved in the communist movement, historically, it's not that men are going to be more feminine and paint their nails. It's that women now can do things only men used to be able to do. So now women can pick up a rifle. Now women can dress with pants and not just a dress. Now women can, be militant and fierce and outspoken and stuff. So actually, it's like what you're talking about is you don't understand how communism is actually, in a way, very much welcome, upholding and uplifting of women, but it does not make men feminized.
Well,
at all.
But the masculinity you're talking about, I see as a sort of hegemonic, like individualism, like pull yourself up by your bootstraps bullshit of like.
What did the Bolsheviks have? What did the Chinese?
And just
the Chinese depicted themselves as strong. Yes, be strong, lift, make the body savage, civilize the mind. That's what Mao said. I mean, that's what they believed.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, the Black Panthers also had like a fitness program, but
yes, and they
that's
were
different
very.
than what I'm talking about. I'm talking
accused
about
of being
y'all,
toxic.
The little gender expression that's outside of the binary that you're talking about. I guess you adopt women into the masculine sort of like.
No, it's just that there were things only men could do. Now women can do them too. So what's wrong with that? That doesn't mean men should stop doing.
Reverse?
But why should men stop doing what they were doing? Why not continue doing it for the revolution? You have to stop what
you were doing to you talked about painting your nails.
Yeah, why should I have to paint my nails? I don't want to.
No one's forcing you to, but y'all seem to belittle the folks who will, the men who will.
But that has nothing to do with the revolution if you do that. I'll tell you the difference. A woman stepping up and taking martial arts class to fight, that's for the revolution. She's serving the revolution. If a man paints his nails, there's no circumstance that's serving the revolution.
Yeah.
If a woman is learning how to shoot a gun, she's doing a service to the revolution if she's in a revolutionary organization. But if a man puts on a dress, in no way is he doing anything relevant to revolution. So that's the difference. Some of these masculine roles are indispensable to revolution. But putting a dress and painting nails is not.
I think that I see a lot of, I mean, even in the way that you're talking about this, it's very individualizing. I mean, it wasn't, every individual gets a gun.
Okay, we will have one more person. No, it's not individualizing at all, actually. I don't know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
Hello. Would it be okay to...
I knew it was a man, because last time you were the same guy, I remember. I thought, the woman wants to chime in. Let's give the woman her opinion. Now it's a man.
I don't think I've spoken to you before.
Yes, you have. You know what? And you said a slur, too, so I'm not going to let you do that. Okay, so Uno wants to speak. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
How does Marxism equal Islam?
Are you going to debate or you want to have a question?
I mean, I'm down to debate. I'm just confused about the prompt.
Okay, well, when you're no longer confused, you can debate. There are no women in your life. Actually, it's not true. It's not true, actually. But, anyway, I'm ending this live because I'm hungry. Bye! You know something? I read that the other day that there's this random group of Italians that are just converting to Shia Islam. And they're, I keep reading about it on Twitter. Shia Islam. They're becoming Shia. And it's so nice because it's combined with their local folk Catholicism. So they're like, it's like a syncretic, it's very Italian. It's not like they're just like following some foreign, like they're independently arriving at this conclusion in Italy. So that was very interesting to read. I think that if you have a problem with Islam, then at least understand the Shia Sunni distinction and explore everything, not just maybe you see something you don't like. Well, maybe it's just from one sect. Maybe you should explore other things, right? It's a very diverse umbrella, right? There's really bad and then there's also good, right? In many things. Anyway, guys, I'm leaving now. I'm hungry. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, but if not, then Thursday. Bye-bye.